Hello and welcome to another evening of Mahjong in the American Ricci Mahjong League. I am Ennui, also sometimes and rarely known as Tucker. I am joined tonight by Nathaniel, who, just so you know, has been preparing his vocal cords especially for this moment. How are you doing, Nathaniel?
I am doing great. I am looking forward to seeing the final two Hanchan of the A2 division. Excited to see who will make it to promotion, if June can avoid demotion, and all the fun things that will be happening tonight.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly tight on both sides here. Lucas only 16.2 points out, which is obviously a good average for two Hanchan, so it's not like that is going to be a given. Same for June, thereabouts, needs 21.1 to get into a three-way tie with Tustin and Sichuan. Right now, it should be noted that if June strictly surpasses that negative 106.6, it would be Sichuan, not Dustin, who demotes. The first tiebreaker is average placement, and if you do the math really quick, Dustin and Sichuan have the same average placement. So it comes down to most first and second place finishes, which Dustin just barely edges out on. So the tiebreaker would go to him. Although if June got involved, I do not know how that would change things.
Certainly would be exciting to see. Of course, extremely improbable that that happens so precisely, but we've seen some very precise finishes before.
I mean,
And
including from you last season.
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what happens here. Tristan will be our first dealer. To the right, Crow. Across the table, June. And to the left, Lucas. Starting off with the dealer hand, pair of the non and, well, pretty good for just a Rigi hand. Not much going on here. No Dora. No Dora to the right either, although there is an Uncle of the 7 Mon. Reasonable shapes in the So, but needs to draw a little bit more useful tiles across the table. There is a Dora 2 pin in hand, and this might shift towards a Tanyao. To the left, we have the Anko of the Haku already, and maybe we could see some type of Chanta. Of course, probably hang on to the 4th pin for a little bit to see if we can connect to the Dora. Although if you're thinking Chanta from the start, you might have held the 1 pin over the 4 pin for that reason.
Tristan's hand kind of developing awkwardly with these draws. I mean, the Onko of 3 pin is great, but the 4 pin next to it is kind of suspect. With the South pair already in hand that isn't incredibly useful to you,
Yeah, I
you
get
don't necessarily want the 3-3-3-4 to become a complex pair weight.
right. I guess you're technically Ishanten right now, so if you draw the Penchan or the Kanchan, you could declare the Ricci. In fact, we might just see the 4 pin cut right here, or we might see a pair drop, or
But you
even
could also get 4-5-6 Sanchoku still.
yeah, that's definitely a possibility, and I think maybe leaning in that direction with the South pair discard would take some shifting around to get that 4-5-6 Sanchoku, but it's definitely possible. In the meantime, to the right, Crow seems to be angling towards a 7-8-9 Sanchoku. And across the table, June really pushing towards that. Tanya has 2 Dora now. Ishanten for that hand.
Would love to. I mean, you'd be perfectly fine opening this just to speed things along.
Absolutely. Picking up 3,900 at the start is not bad when your goal is to finish with plus 21.
I mean, could get 3-4-5 Sanchoku as well in that hand. Pretty easily, actually.
Actually, yeah, there is a world where that happens. We saw Tristan pull in that 5 so, fill that Yankan, and now Ishanten.
Yeah, tossed away the south pair. So now, using the 3-3-3-4 as here we go. There's Tempai. Could stay Dama if he wanted, or just could call Ricci. So this will be Tanyao Ricci Dora 1 for Tristan, waiting on the 3 mon.
Yeah, this is expensive, and we see one of the 3 Mon has been discarded already. 2 in hand, so only 1 left in the wall. And of course, you're very scared of this dealer reach. There's really no indication of what's safe given these discards.
All terminals and honors. Well, I guess the 8 so is neither a terminal nor an honor, but it's pretty close. And
Right.
even after the Ricci, still unhelpful tiles coming out.
So maybe for that reason, June just pushes the 6 pin out there. Does have a hand worth worth fighting for, especially you can find the last 2 pin, which is still in the wall. Crow, of course, Has no reason to deal into this hand in a very comfortable position. Of course, it maybe with that sense of safety can afford to play a little bit more aggressively, but for now, playing strictly Genbutsu.
That's becoming a little bit more of a possibility here, though. I mean, even the 9-mon wasn't Genbutsu. Like, it's just the best you have.
Right. Still have yet to see the final 3-mon. June finds a Suji and still Ishanten. And could even call Pon. So if Tristan were to drop either the 5-so, 2-pin, or 6-mon, we could see June make the push for Tenpai. Or perhaps I should say make the call for Tenpai. Well, now we have a full Kabe of the 7-mon from Crow's perspective.
Ooh, there's the last 3.
3-6 as a whole doesn't look good. Oh, and just folds now. That's a Nakasuji. I guess there's, yeah, not enough draws to make Chitoi here. Alright, so with one discard, Crow, what is your best play here? We've got a saved 7-so. And so 3,000 for Tristan. Net gain of 2k, and we'll have one Riichi stick, one Honba in the middle. Go again as dealer. This high pie looks a little bit stronger for Tristan now. 2 completed shapes already and a pair of the north. If we could find a fun Champon, that could be quite interesting. To the right, good shapes as well. We'll probably be discarding some of these honor tiles first, although the Dora is the Haku, and now Crow has paired that up. Oh, and June has one across the table as well, so that could come out. It doesn't quite fit the hand, except for the fact that there are 4 pairs already, and so June might be thinking about making Chitoi Dora too. And not going Otozuke is Crow here, and you want to use that 9 pin as a pair anyway. To the left, we've got this is a fairly nice starting hand, but the value just isn't there. Really, the question is, can Crow find the 3rd Haku?
June across the table, making the sort of halfway play. Like, that 2-so discard is very much, I'm keeping the possibility of a normal hand and also Chitoi open. Like, favoring the less efficient 9-mon, that's better for Chitoi, but also not tossing away the not as good for Chitoi 5-so or 7-so.
Yeah, maybe even holding that 9-mon with dreams and building a 7-8-9 Sanshoku. Maybe Sanshoku Ipeko. And now you have to really think, Chitoi or the Sanshoku, and chooses the Chitoi instead.
I mean, this could still become a normal hand. That 9-mon, if you draw, say, a 6-pin, that probably instantly shifts you towards the normal hand.
Yeah, I wonder how late June will feel comfortable holding on to this Haku.
Ooh, Anko.
There goes the 9-mon. Tristan is actually Ishanten again. Similar situation to the last round where there's just awkward, 2 awkward weights here, Kanchan, and you can't really call that north. Another pair for June, so I think we're going to see, yeah, that's a straight up Chitoi push. And there's the last Haku. Yeah, Tristan doesn't want to drop it yet. We're starting to get into the second row, and we haven't seen it.
There's the Otozuke.
Yeah, Crow willing to call for it.
Oh, there's the 6-pin.
Ooh.
Oh, so there's still now we're Ishanten for Rion Peiko.
Yeah, that would be
for pure double sequence, which is as rare as 4 concealed triplets, which is a Yakuman. Fun fact.
Yeah, I think 9-pin really helps disguise the hand, I think. Although the 6-pin came out earlier, so maybe not as much, but you're sort of trying to show Tanyao.
That's Tenpai for Lucas. Yeah, 8-so Kanchan weight for Ipeko Nomi, or I guess Riichi Ipeko from Lucas.
Only one 8-so left in the wall. I can't see the Dora, but willing to fight here. And immediately after the Riichi, the 9-pin came out from Crow, so the table should be a little bit alerted to a possible push. Of course, with one call, the read might just be, well, Crow might be Tenpai now for Tanyao, and feels that fighting is better than folding at this point.
June liking the 7-so more than the 8-mon. 7-so doesn't look particularly safe.
Yeah, maybe
But
that's
the 8-mon did look really bad.
right. And it might just be since June was holding so many of the upper Mon tiles, they felt that a 7 was slightly better. But yeah, neither looked good.
G.
Ooh. 2-so does not win the hand for Crow. Crow cannot be forced into a drawn Furiton, since both of the 2-so have already been pulled into other people's hands.
June has made it pretty clear they want to fold here. And Tristan has been leaning in the fold direction as well. Yeah, so unlikely we see a Dora come out at this point. Question is, where is the last 8-so? We have 5 draws. Crow would push it. I'm not sure the other two would.
All right.
So
it never shows up.
Yeah, in the dead wall. 2 hands, 2 Ryukyoku. And we do pass the dealer this time. We'll move over to...
Oh! Tristan starting with a pair of Haku and a pair of Hatsu, and June starting with an Anko of the Chun?
Dragon heavy hand.
Tristan's already called in the time we were switching dealers.
The awkward thing for Tristan's hand is you really want to call that second dragon, but then you don't have a pair. Of course, pair's a little bit easier to find, but...
Everybody's hands kind of accelerate. Crow is already Ishanten.
That's wild. Yeah, Kanchan, Ishanten.
Ooh, what do you toss here?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I wonder if there's a world where you shift towards Amon Itsu.
I mean, that 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 shape is really incredible for the Manzu.
And of course, we'll also be paying attention to Toyman's hand. Lucas has the Dora Anko already. And actually, Ishanten for Junchan Dora 3 could call for this. Second dragon call from Tristan. Pair found. Still needs one more shape. Well, there's an alternate shape, so everything's set. Ishanten for Tristan.
Now it's Ishanten. A perfect Ishanten.
G.
Crow speeding up the hand.
Boom.
For good reason. Yeah, 6-9. And unfortunately, it looks like Lucas, if he were to find Tempai, would deal in.
Ooh, an Anko of the 1-peen.
Which isn't actually that thrilling, given the rest of the shapes, but...
It doesn't help.
Yeah, there goes the 9. Chooses the headless shape and deals into the cheap 2000. But when you had the Mongon, it feels a little sad.
I mean, if you had been able to get the Junchan and the Dora 3, that's Hanuman. That's Dama Hanuman.
Yeah, that would have been insane. And for Lucas, I think, yeah, isn't that far away, so Dama would have been totally fine here. But instead, we move to June's dealership. Dora is the 4-mon. June has a little bit of a Tanyao type hand, holding the Lone Honors. That could become value over the 9-mon. We'll see if any of those pair up. To the right, we have, well, a nice Penchon fill. Might even build towards some type of Sanshoku in the upper shape, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. And drawing well. Across the table, Tristan, potential Itsu in the Sozu, but outside that looks like your normal Pinfu or Tanyao hand. And then there's a door in that hand, potential to incorporate another, by the way. For Crow, this looks like a Tanyao or a Ricci. Hard to make Tanyao with that 9-mon pair, but there's worlds where you could shift that direction. Maybe even 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku.
And June has had absolutely incredible draws.
Yeah, there go the
June
honors.
Now Ishanten.
Replace that with Tanyao. Good draws for Lucas as well, though. That hand is also Ishanten. Yeah, this is a little confusing shape here because you want to
Yeet.
make the Ipeco, but actually Lucas gets there first. Declares Ricci right away on that 4 So Kanchan. Ricci Nomi. Oh, but it comes
No.
out immediately. The tile had just left June's hand. And Tristan is the one to deal it in. Tristan, of course, with a great hand, had found Ishanten as well. Sort of understandable push, especially given Tristan's current position in the leaderboard. So, we will move forward to Lucas's dealership. And in this hand, we have 3 pairs, good shapes. Only a few tiles away from declaring Ricci, but the value just isn't there. The door is the 4-mon. We see one of those in the hand to the right, as well as the Haku pair. So Tristan could try to open this up and speed things along for 2,000. Currently in first place, would give him a little bit of a buffer moving into the south round. Across the table, Crow has just an insta Mangan with the, or I shouldn't say insta Mangan, but Honitsu is very clearly the play here. And I'm not sure if they were able to call the east or not as the first discard, but it almost makes sense to pass it here and now opening up. Perhaps could even find Toy Toy to go with us.
Yeah, that would be incredible. All triplets, half flush, Toy Toy Honitsu, plus the East, if you can find it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's there's our Mangon.
And it's
Well,
interesting.
but June's hand is gonna kind of get in the way though, because June has so many of the lower or the middle Pinzu.
Oh, but the 1 pin got paired up, and so all the shapes are there for the Toy Toy. 1 pin is not really that helpful for anyone as well, so we could see that come out quite easily. The question mark is where's the last East, and where is the last 7 pin? Will those come out?
Lucas could also make a Toy Toy shift here if he's just able to find one more pair or one more Anko. The
Absolutely.
19, 9 so, and Nan are all pretty callable. Oh, but the 5, 6, 7 fill. Now just a normal Ishanten.
Can't call that southward in the East round currently.
You don't want to end on Champon now because the Souths are dead.
Oh yeah, that is awkward. In fact, for that reason, just throws it right back out. Is hoping to draw something, some other shape.
Although it'd be the 3-pin's an awkward one to hold, there's practically nothing you can draw next to the 3-pin that wouldn't leave you Furiton. Unless you completed that shape entirely before you complete some other shape.
Oh wow, Tristan on the right drew into the Anko of the Haku and the 7 so. Headless Ishanten right now. There's the East call. Tenpai for Crow across the table for the Mangan. There's 2 1-pin left in the wall. 1 7-pin in the wall for Toy Toy Honitsu East. So many tiles will give Tristan Tenpai though. And that's one of them. Will we see the 3-sided weight?
リーチ
We
Yeah,
will
I feel like
indeed.
you had to.
Ricci Haku Dora 1. And it comes out immediately.
Another Ipatsu wrong. That's the second one.
Feels like if you're sitting in that seat, you're going to find the Ipatsu, and that's a Mangan. Tristan pulling ahead here as we move into the south and to South 1. And this is exactly what Tristan needs, a big first game to give him a chance to make it to the promotion zone in the final game. This hand looks pretty nice too. Door acceptance available, and just good shapes all around. To the right, we've got 2 door in hand though, and 3 pairs, so not quite a Chitoy just yet, but might be thinking about that depending on what the draws end up being. Across the table, June is looking for perhaps like a Ricci, Tanyao, Ipeco, something along those lines. Maybe even throw a Pifu in there. And to the left, Lucas with the Chun pair and the West pair. No value outside of the Chuns though, so perhaps would like to aim for a Ricci with that Champon weight. The West Chun looks very juicy.
Yeah, is tossing the 1-2-mon before tossing the Haku, perhaps leaving Honitsu as an option. If you were to draw another Haku, then you would have 5 shapes, 5 full shapes for Honitsu, and you could toss away that 7-8 pin and have a Honitsu in the Dora suit, which is always nice.
Absolutely, that's a good catch. Choosing the value a little bit more than just the efficiency of having an extra block, that being the awkward 1-2 shape. Well, there goes a Haku. East is also one cut, but still retaining that in hand. And now dealer
Oh, a
Ishanten.
nice- Yep, and Ishan 10 for the Itsu as well. Could even open with for the 5 so or the Tumon and be able to win that way.
But June across the table finds draws into the uncle of the 7 pin instead of drawing the 5 or 8. And so instead has Richi Tanyao chance at San Uncle. Upon
If they're able to sumo it, yes.
Absolutely.
Because that'd be 3 concealed triplets.
We will not see the con of the 3 mon or the 7 pin, unfortunately. That would have been exciting for sure.
Incredibly sad.
Another pair drawn for Crow, but not sure they'll want to push terribly hard here, despite having the 2 Dora. A little sad for Lucas. Was working pretty hard to put the hand together. Forced to play a little bit safer at this point. Also slightly unfortunate, was waiting to be able to call the tune perhaps, but Crow is the one who drew it and is unlikely to discard it at this point.
Crow, we have mentioned on cast before, is exceptional at dodging dangerous tiles. Like, not even always just straight folding, just very, very good at finding the right way to work around a hand.
There are 3 tiles remaining for this weight in the wall. We haven't seen them yet. And there it is.
It is.
Just waiting for us to point it out before drawing it. There's the not 2 for the Hanuman. And that puts June right back into things in second place now. And in fact, because Tristan was the dealer for that, Tristan eats 6,000 points, and so very tenuous first place currently for Tristan. As we move to Crow's dealership, this is really anyone's game.
Yeah, even second place would almost be as far as promotion goes, be a death blow for Tristan. Because then you'd be forced to have like a plus 60 or plus 70 game to get to pass Kaz or to pass Lucas, whomever. And that is much, much harder to do than just getting 2 plus 30 games even.
Absolutely. So Tristan will continue putting the pedal to the metal, keep pushing forward, trying to extend this lead as much as possible. Has a hand that is able to do so, at least in terms of speed. Could call the Hatsu here, but might want more value out of this. We wait and see.
But where are you really going to get it? Other than possible Dora acceptance, you're not going to make anything particularly fancy with that hand as far as Yaku goes.
It would have to be something like a Richi and hope for Uda, or Tsumo Uda, something like that. It does make the call, chooses to just attempt to advance the dealership at least. The dealer is Crow. This hand is not bad, with a couple good draws. The Dora would be a useful one. The hand to the right has so many pairs, it's a little bit awkward to read.
Just 4.
Yeah, it kind of wants to be Ipeiko or Itsu or 7 pairs or Tanyao. It could be a lot of different things.
Yeah, that 1-3-3-4-5-5 shape is kind of interesting. Like, it's very easy to miss the Ryoncon there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got the 3-4-5, but then the 1-3-5 over top of that actually is a pretty nice shape. It's just kind of muddled up by the pairs. And the 5th pair is drawn as we were talking about that hand.
Right, so this could perhaps be a Chitoi or even Chitoi Tanyao, depending on how June decides to wait. And of course, there's always the option to just shift towards a normal hand again. Perhaps if you draw the 4, so you're technically Tenpai for the Chitoi, but you might stay Dama waiting for some type of Richi, Peiko, Pinfu nonsense or something along those lines.
Do you think Crow is thinking Chitoi, keeping this pair of Chun that are already gone? Oh, Khan!
Ooh! Well, that's a way to get some value. Unfortunately, did not flip anything. In fact, had discarded the 8-pin already. In fact, no one has an 8-pin in hand currently. And June has drawn an Anko of the 6-pin. Will we see another San Anko attempt, or Su Anko even?
Oh, that hand could very easily get to Suanko. I guess there are 2 3-so in Lucas's hand, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But other than that, it's kind of wide open here. I guess
Yep.
2 5-so already discarded.
Oh, both of them. Okay, yeah, that definitely makes things a little bit harder here. But maybe you shift to a normal hand at this point. You can drop the 7 pin. But no, chooses to stay the current course. And as you had mentioned the tunes earlier, definitely save tiles, and out they go. As the hand approaches Tenpai Ishanten right now for Reach Pinfu.
Tristan has had a pretty incredibly wide Ishanten for quite a while now, but just cannot get a call or a draw that will help. And there's so many that would. There's one.
Finally, Lucas drops something helpful. I mean, you look at Lucas's discards. 1-9-1-9 as the last poor discard is definitely not helpful. But here we see the Tenpai for Tristan. Just Hatsu only. Will be the 1300.
And that 7-peen, well, okay. I was going to say that 7-peen is so abandoned in June's hand until that Dora 8-peen gets drawn, but the 8-peen, a fairly safe tile as far as things go. Genbutsu to both Lucas and Tristan, and Crow does not seem to be Tenpai. So dropping the safe Dora. The 7-peen, however, also looks fairly safe. I mean, it's one chance, although one chance means a lot less once we get into the third row.
Yeah, it's interesting that June could have manipulated the hand to incorporate that Dora, but instead chose to throw it back, of course, perhaps anticipating this Tenpai. We are
I feel
2
like
calls
8-so,
in.
8-so would have been a fairly natural drop there.
Yeah, it is Suji, and there's so many of these 7 so gone. In fact, all of them are gone. Ooh, very safe tiles.
Ooh, there's a 2.
And that
Could
one
just
does
toss a
come.
5-so here, but doesn't.
Yeah, still holding on to the pairs, and that will deal into very cheap 1300 points.
And that's massive for Tristan. Now Tristan could get basically any sumo and drop June beneath 30k.
And that's really important because if the remaining 3 players are below 30,000, Tristan will earn an extra 5 points of Uma at the end of the game. Should he retain the first place, of course. Well, here we go. June's dealership. Chance to make up this lead, or rather make up this deficit. Draws into the East pair once, but they're both cut already, so...
Yeah.
At best, a pair in this hand. This hand has all the shapes it needs. Could be just Richi, Sanshoku, something along those lines. And if you're desperate, you could even call for it as well. To the right there. Oh, go ahead.
Is June desperate?
Those shapes are a little bit awkward here. The Penchan. Oh, now you've drawn the wrong side of the Sanshoku. I think drawing the wrong side now, you're not desperate enough. But especially if things got later in the hand, you can't see the Dora, and you need to just aim for a continuance, you would call, especially if you were waiting on a guaranteed Sanshoku, like the 6-pin or something along those lines.
That's a good fill for Lucas on the right. Still has that Haku pair. Trying to decide which shapes to keep.
Holding on to the Dora, it looks like. Of course, if you pair up the Dora, all of a sudden you're looking at a very expensive Richi Tanyao Pinfu Dora too.
Doesn't want the Haku from June. It went away so fast. I wonder if Lucas has calls off. Like, is Lucas determined here to create a closed hand with all of the potential value with the Manzu?
Okay, we'll see the Richi for the 3-sided Richi Nomi, but yeah, I've seen Lucas discuss some hands in various What Would You Do's, and definitely he's always thinking about value options and is willing to sacrifice. Oh no! Well, maybe should have sacrificed the Haku pair here. But of course, you can never know what you're going to draw, and this is an incredible weight.
Yeah, 3-6-9, and we see quite a lot of them. All of the 9-mon have already been drawn and/or discarded, and then of the 3 and 6-mon, we see 3 6-mon and 1 3-mon. So 4 tiles left on the wall for Lucas, and then we have a chase from Crow, waiting on 4-mon 7-mon, which is well, not much more alive in the wall. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 2 left in the wall.
We could have seen. Oh, there's the 6-mon. We could have seen June chase even, but chose to decline the Tenpai. The 6-mon does deal into Lucas, and that's important. That changes places between Crow and Lucas. And Lucas, Crow can afford a fourth place here. Lucas cannot. So with one final dealership, Lucas is going to aim for a positive finish. Currently in third place, aiming for second. Any hand would take that place.
Yeah, a narrow third place would still be. Any first practically would still get Lucas into promotion with a narrow third here.
Right, and there still is one more game, so even a close third isn't the end of the world here. But of course, any positive finish to make your chances in the final game a little bit better is what you're aiming for here. It looks like Lucas might be thinking about building towards a Tanyao here, although now that you've completed that 789 shape, you're 2 away from Tempai, so perhaps just a Ricci is in order here.
And Lucas's hand is just so much better than everyone else's at the table. Like, pretty much everyone got dealt absolute garbage this round.
Yeah, looking around, we just see a Dora in the hand to the left for June. Not the shapes are there, but they're not spectacular. Same to the right and across the table, so can you put together?
That Tumon's a nice pull for Tristan, but could end up Furiton. Or it could just create an Itsu. So we'll see what happens in the Monzu for Tristan there.
Even 1,000 points. The one on hand for Tristan is good enough if you hit June directly or you Tsumo. It'll be good enough to drop June below 30,000.
June really thinking about this pawn. Could go for a Tanyao here. A tricky Tanyao too with an Eitso pawn. Decides not to. Tristan has to know that the Eitso are paired up somewhere, but neither Crow nor Lucas would know whether that was a pause for a Chi or a pause for a pawn, although Tristan's 9757 so discards might give it away.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and June immediately drops the extra 8, so still hanging onto that door, and that's the only one we've seen so far. Lucas not swapping out the 1 pin for the 4 pin as you see a lot of times here, because that's actually a 468 Yunkan if you maintain this shape. So Yishanten for Lucas. Kroos actually getting kind of close as well. 2 away there.
Oh, there's the second Hatsu for June. 2 green dragons. And that's Dora. That would be absolutely massive. Any win with both of those in hand. Or with all 3, rather.
Right. Oh, there's the third!
There it is! Immediately gets the third!
Dama! Silently waiting to steal the first place away from Tristan.
Oh, 2-mon, 5-mon.
7, that's the 7th drawn. There's only 1 left in the wall.
And it would be so easy for one of those tiles to come out of Crow's hand.
Absolutely. I wonder if Crow just I mean, they're in 4th place right now, but that doesn't really matter at 25,000. That's not a big enough 4th to really worry about.
Oh, what I really want to see is for someone to toss the 4th Hatsu.
Oh, there's no way we see a Khan.
Khan Rinshan for the Hanuman. That would be the one. Oh, it could come out now. Nope, doesn't. Thins out the pin shape first.
Oh, this is Tempai.
Is, though,
Lucas might declare Ricci, and that might... Oh, no, 2-5 is safe against the Reach.
Oh, this feels like death for Crow. This feels horrible.
Oh, there it is.
Tristan's hand instead.
Tristan.
That's going to be a complete reversal. That's going to drop Tristan all... Wait, does that tie Tristan?
I think it's a tie.
Oh my god, that's massive for June. Plus 29.2 out of nowhere with just the silent Dama, the Anko of the Dora. That on its own is gonna be enough to put June past the Dustin Sichuan tie-up. And Tristan being dropped into the negatives, I mean, that's like just a single-handed murder, just out of nowhere on a save tile. It should be noted that Tristan and Lucas here, since they tied, they will split the Uma, which in this case would be 0 for Tristan and -5 for Lucas. So that will be divided as 2.5 to each. So I do believe that ends up being, what, 0.3
Negative
for
4.7 for both, right?
negative 4.7 for both. Okay.
We'll just average the scores. And
Oh
yeah,
right,
what an
30.
incredible finish. Crow was saved by the draw order there. I'm certain that I shouldn't say certain. Crow is extremely good at defending. Might be trust the North pair instead to defend against both, but it was quite likely that that 2 mon or 5 mon was coming out of either hand, and just by the turn order, Tristan dropped it first, and so
I mean that Dama would have gotten anyone. I mean,
absolutely, especially
it
when
just happened.
the after the reach that.
Yeah.
If that reach was a Dama, I'm curious what would have happened there. It would have been quite exciting. I believe that was a Pinhui Peiko. And of course, his dealer, there's so much value in the Ricci there, but my goodness,
Especially
what a finish.
for Lucas, who would have liked it. But that's gonna be pretty okay for Lucas here.
Yeah, Lucas.
Still very much within reach of promotion.
Absolutely. It will take a good finish. Still about 21 points away, but that's how far June was in the last game. And they were able to win that 29+2, so maybe it's Lucas's turn. And for Crow, even despite that 4th place, still extremely comfortably in promotion zone and very unlikely to drop out at this point. All right. Looks like the next game will be coming our way in about 1 minute. So we'll take a quick pause to prepare ourselves for that game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the 4th and final game of the A2 division. Welcome back, everybody. The gong has sounded, and we are about to start this final game. Lucas will be our first dealer. To the right, June. Across the table, Tristan. And on the left, Crow. Game 4 for this series. And we will be on the edge of our seats as we see if Lucas can make it into the promotion zone, or if Tristan or June can just absolutely go off. Remember, June not that far away from that big demotion cluster around the 106 mark. So June also needs to have a positive finish, or just a small enough negative to not get there.
Such a narrow gap for June there. I mean, negative 8.2 would be demotion for June. And just based on the placement stats, I'm fairly sure that if there was a 3-way tie between Dustin, Sichuan, and June, that June would be the person in last, because average placement is pretty huge for that. And June's average placement would be the lowest of the 3.
So we'll be watching June, of course, very carefully to see how they approach this game. The goal is to stay positive. You've already done the hard part. You've surpassed the goal that you need, at least the mark in the first game, to get out of the demotion zone. Now you just need to stay positive. For Lucas, this is going to be a battle of attacking and matching the speed of Crow on the left, calling the Forso and aiming for a Tanya.
Well, wait, Crow? Hold on. Oh, Lucas called the Forso to match the speed of Crow.
Yes.
Crow called the 1-so.
Yeah.
Going for Junchan or Chanta here.
And yeah, the six mon doesn't help the hand at all, so that will come right out. And Tempai for Lucas. 3 mon 6 so. Shampoo wait. Of course, Crow with that door in hand. Likely to be retaining to it, holding on to it for a long time. I don't think we'll ever see that come out of the hand, in fact.
Pong.
Yeah, looks like we'll end up on Dorataki, but that call gives the Tsumo to Lucas. 1,500, 500 all, so we'll go again as dealer. Not a bad start, and this high pie looks
double tone.
golden. Yeah, with a double tone, but it's Mochi Mochi with Crow.
Mochi. Oh my god.
Oh no! This is this is tragic almost. But we'll see if Lucas can build a close hand. The shapes are incredible here, and Crow will also be likely to, make another attempt to just call and push this game along. Another great draw for Lucas. So excellent shapes.
4 pairs for June on the right as well. So we have 4 pairs and 2 different hands here.
The hand across the table has some okay shapes. All the shapes you need to make a hand, but if you...
Oh, 5 pairs for June.
We'll see Chitoy now. You see those discards creeping towards the middle, holding on to these outer tiles. Good call for Tristan. More pairs for Lucas now.
5 pairs for Lucas, both Lucas and June. Ishan 10 for Chitoy. Lucas denying it though, tossing the 3-pin.
Because Lucas has the chance at the double tone, so unfortunately, unlikely to get that here. There is a world where the safest tile in Crow's hand ends up being the pair of East, in the case of Arichi, but I've yet to see that. Of course, Crow with the call of the Shun now. Ishan Tam.
And that, I would, oh no, the 7, well, you could have called Chi there if you're Crow for Tempai, and I wonder if they did, but instead, getting Chi on the 2-mon, entering Tempai for 7-pin East, and Lucas also calling Pawn on the 6-pin, stealing it from Crow, getting Tempai waiting for East and Tuso, which comes out of Tristan's hand, but Lucas's Atazuke can only win on the East.
That gives the advantage to Crow here, actually. The only player who can win at the moment on the 7-pin. Of course, we see one of the 7-pin in June's hand. Oh, paired up!
Oh, but it's not coming out now!
No, neither of these hands with the East are going to win. Which tile do you want? I mean, usually the 1-pin here. The 1-pin looks amazing.
The 1-pin does look amazing.
The question was, Ricci or Dama? And chooses the Dama here.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as a Ricci tile because it's... I mean, it doesn't look particularly safe. Okay, waits 1 turn, doesn't get a better tile, and decides to call Ricci. Sometimes, people hate on the Sumigiri Ricci tactically. Sometimes you really just need, oh god, I'm running out of time. I don't want to be forced into things. I literally just need 5 extra seconds to think, which, in real life you would have that time to think, but you don't online. Oh, Tempai across the table for Tristan.
Yeah, this
9-pin 8-so.
Expensive 8-so is the Dora. We're surely not a Toy shift. I mean, at this point, Tristan might need that. Yeah, it makes...
But the 4-mon's safe against everyone, pretty much. It's Nakasuji for Crow and Genbutsu to both Lucas and June.
Yeah, Tristan going for it all here. Oh, draws the Dora!
That's Tempai. 6-mon 9-pin. Everyone Tempai here. Tristan with by far the most dangerous hand.
Hanuman right now. And
there's 1 9-pin left in the wall. And 2 6-mon.
How are there still 2 6-mon in the wall?
God, I have no clue.
June in a little bit of trouble. Cannot do anything but discard, but also 2 1-pin in the wall. So there are so many winning tiles out here. Technically,
I wouldn't be surprised if Lucas discards the East at this point.
Right?
Oh, but there's a 6-mon! Oh no! That's the worst hand to deal into! Toy Haku Dora 3, that's a Hanuman!
Tragedy for June, and Tristan built that Toy, declined the Mongan Tempai, and chose to build the Hanuman.
And that actually is such a Tristan thing to do. I mean, for one, it makes sense because of the standings. Tristan needs a huge first. Needs about 82 points, roughly, to get into the promotion zone here, and essentially can't fall into deep. Well, actually, the same negative would certainly put Tristan into demotion. So I guess just as likely. But Tristan does tend to go for bigger hands in general.
Yeah, choosing to fight against a Ricci of all things, and two hands that had called to go for that. That is incredible. And interesting hand for June here. Another sort of pair heavy hand, but Ishanten for Ricci Chun. We saw the call of the East from Lucas, attempting to just move the dealership forward. Of course, Lucas needs a first place here. June is willing to call into Tenpai. Do you like the Tenpai call there, or do you prefer to wait a little bit longer for Ricci?
As dealer, if Lucas had not called, I would have waited. But with the pawn from Lucas, I like the call to speed up. You want to get to Tenpai. Lucas with one call probably isn't Tenpai. Like, could be, but probably isn't. So you are likely first to Tenpai this way. And Lucas catching up is not something you want, because you really need to win this. 5-pin, 8-pin now for Lucas.
Yeah,
Lucas catching up regardless.
Interesting decision by June. Could have swapped the 4-7 pin, but chooses the weight that guarantees the extra foo. I wonder if that was the decision.
Also,
yeah,
the 1-mon feels pretty good.
No one's discarded the lower Manzu yet, but you have it Suji trapped. Oh, pain on the 4-pin draw. And you would have gotten Sumo Fu as well. A little bit unfortunate there.
Good switch by Crow. We talked about this. Crow dodging the deal in by discarding the 2-pin.
And at this point, you're committed to the 1-mon 5-pin weight. Crow
the 5-pin would actually be a double deal in.
It would, yeah. We see it's unlikely to come out at this point, but Crow calling into Tenpai now. Shampon 7-mon, 8-mon.
Once again, we have 3 players Tenpai here. With Tristan Ishanten, I mean, an 8-pin would be an obvious chase! 9-pin Ricci waiting on 3-pin, 6-pin, surely, right?
Well, that's a Dora.
Ricci, Itsu,
yeah,
Dora
it takes
1,
the Itsu anyway.
if you get the 6-pin.
If not, Ricci, Dora 1.
The Pinzu look awful. Lucas pushes, though.
Yeah, Lucas...
Could have tossed all the So tiles.
Oh, no! Maybe you switch to the 7 here.
No, Champon 6. Champon 6.
No.
Why not throw the 7? You'd have 6-mon, 6-pin Champon.
Liked the weight here, the 5-8 better.
But the 7-pin was confirmed safe.
And that's going to be a huge win for Tristan. Again, that's 2 in a row.
This is also huge for June. June cannot afford a last, cannot even really afford too much of a third. But if Lucas is also down here with you, that makes things much more manageable. When you're all alone at 16K with no one by your side, I would call this in a heartbeat. June does not, though.
June puts it on hold for now. We'll likely call the next one should have come out.
Who's got the Norths? Oh, Crow does. Okay.
Oh, Dora. So June's Honitsu looking quite expensive. Tristan, as dealer, has been winning all the hands so far. They've been Mangan minimum. The reasonable dealer hand here as well. We see the Hatsu call for Lucas, though.
Yeah, we see Lucas hesitating. I mean, this hand is a jumbled mess. Has a Dora, has the 3-4 Rionman in Pinzu, that nice sideway, has a pair of 9-mon, but other than that, everything is all freaking over the place.
And the thing is, Lucas
is very concerned about pushing.
Yeah, Lucas needs more. He needs more than just 2,000 points. With hope, I guess, here's drum or Dora. Oh, and there's a Dora. Right on cue.
You have been the Dora Charmer tonight for our players.
Well, we see Ishanten for Tristan here. It's awkward. Kanchan. And a second call for June now. Ishanten for that Honitsu hand. Let's see, we're in the East round, so this is a Mangan. Would love to switch to some sort of toy as well.
Lucas taking the 9-mon pawn. Anything to get another shape in hand. And there's Tenpai for June. 1-pin, 9-pin weight.
Well, those edge tiles are bound to come out eventually. It's just a matter of who draws it.
But would you guess that hand is Honitsu with these discards? I mean, it's all middle tiles from So and Mon.
We see Crow hesitating. and declines to drop the 1 pin. There was hesitation on the one earlier, right? The early discard of the 1 pin?
I don't know about the first. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, there was. There was hesitation before a call, yes. Oh, but
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Wrong.
And that's massive for June. Absolutely huge Mongon.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to target any player specifically here. You just need to take your 8,000 point win, and June certainly does that. And so climbs into 3rd place now. It is Lucas who is in 4th.
That's, for the record, not quite good enough of a 3rd for June. Oh, wait, no, it's a 2nd place. As 2nd.
Oh, you're right.
That's perfectly fine.
Because that knocked Crow down.
Yes.
Oh, that was massive then. That was so important. We'll see if Crow can battle back here. Of course, the door is the West. Has one in hand. Good shapes as well for Ricci, perhaps Dora Tonki. We just pair up the West. I'm not seeing any in hand, so they are in the wall to be drawn. To the right, we've got all the shapes needed for a Ricci here. If you're building for value, might aim for some type of Itsu in the So. Maybe work towards a 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku, something, 1, 2, 3, something that can build to value. Across the table, this looks like a fairly normal Pinfu type hand. The 1-2 Penchant being the awkward part there. But you've drawn a pair of East. All right, forget Pinfu. That's a value pair, so we're not going to get that. But Ricci Dora 2 is certainly excellent. And if you can call the West, that's Yakuhai Dora 3.
Yeah. Right, you don't need the Ricci, you just take the West.
Yeah, I'm just working under the assumption that Crow never drops this West, but that certainly is possible.
But that's an incredible Ishanten for June.
Yes, this is amazing. Yeah, I'm willing to
Not
call
going
here.
off Suzuki. Keeping the 6-peen.
There's a world where we make 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku as well. Or 5, 6, 7.
Things feel good for June right now. Whenever one thing works out well, you feel a lot better in that next round. Meanwhile, Tristan's hand just kind of not going places, just keeps drawing pairs.
Yep. I mean, there's a 7 pin for June. Ooh.
What do you toss? 6-0? Yep.
Yeah, so this keeps the 5, 6, 7 and the 6, 7, 8 open. And the
So
draw.
now you could even open for Sanshoku if you wanted.
Could, but I think you
denies the Shah! Doesn't take the headless Ishanten on the Dorapone! I can't believe it! How do you resist that temptation?
June is going for it all. This is going to be Hanuman or bust. And that is such an incredible decision. And Crow now has the ability to fight. Now that West was not called, it is the 5! Dama!
Tempai! Another Dama! But only winnable on the 5-mon, not winnable on the 8-mon. 5-mon would be Sanshoku Dora 2 for a Mongon. 8-mon would be nothing.
Yeah, and I guess there's only 2 8-mon left. So there's
Katagiri Ricci?
we see.
Oh, Sumogiri Ricci.
Not even Katagiri. That's interesting. That's the 2nd time June has done that now. The 1 turn wait and
it comes out. And that's the expensive side. That's the Takame. Ricci Apatsu Sanshoku Dora. No Ura, but still a Hanuman for June. Like you said, Hanuman or bust, and that's massive.
How is this even happening, June? Just making all the right plays. Waiting 1 turn to get the Ipatsu is just crazy.
And nails Lucas. Lucas now in a horrible situation. Needs plus 21. Plus 21 would get Lucas into A1 and is now sitting in 4th place by 10,000 below Crow.
And this is Lucas's last dealership. Started first and so needs to make something out of this hand. But Crow has such a fast one. Already calls the Haku and has an East Uncle already and 7. So pair 3, 4 shape as well. Looking very speedy. Lucas hand
is also clutching the June and the Hatsu.
Right. 1 Hatsu cut, yeah, okay, so we'll forget the Dragon Dreams as this hand enters Ishanten. Lucas' hand not bad either. Could be some type of Reach Pinfu, perhaps draw into a Dora.
Could still get Tanya out here.
Yes, I think when Crow discards the 7 pin, should they find Tempai, we'll see a call for Tanya. Might even call this right now.
Yeah, discarded that 6-mon. If you're going to go for Tanya, that 6-mon really felt like the time to do it.
But it's also a little bit difficult. You've just dealt into a Hanemon. You have this sort of internal sense that I need more, and this hand looks good enough to get more out of.
Is thinning out for the to be able to play a little bit more defense later. Although that 9-so is going to be dangerous against everybody.
Yeah, I see that as an
There's-
offensive thin out because it could make Itsu, but finding
Immediately
Ishanten
deals
deals
the
in.
pro.
Yeah, that hand was just way too fast, and that's so unfortunate for Lucas, who is almost out of the running for that A1 promotion, would require a Yakuman or just 3 consecutive massive hands without a dealership. Speaking about massive hands, look at this for June. Dianpeko alert again. It's definitely possible. Has a Dora. Could even make pairs, but throws that Dora away.
Yeah, who needs Dora?
Yeah, June, at this point, the incentives are to just end the game. You're positive, you've got what you need. If you can give yourself even more of a buffer safely, that's certainly acceptable. But he shut down already, so we might just see.
And a promotion would feel so huge for June too. June took an absolutely massive L in A1 last season and has done a really good job of holding on in A2 this season. And it would feel really just so validating to keep yourself from falling further. Stay in A2, fight back next season, have a chance. But Lucas getting the Tempai for Ricci, Pinfu, possibly Peiko on the 5-peen. 2-peen would also be a win, just worth a little bit less.
Yeah, I wonder if Lucas will even pass Roan here.
This is Tempai.
Dama.
And
Again.
this is Tanyao, so can take a 6-so or a 7-so.
Will we see the one-turn reach? No, not this time. Sumo is Sananko. Yeah, nothing amazingly safe here. The 6-so is Nakasuchi. Should June decide to play safety here? Oh, Tristan just drawing all of the winning tiles. Might even end up thinking about Chitoi. That is actually Ishanten.
Chi.
June switches the weight to one that's more likely to win, although we see 3 of the 8-so already cut.
The 7-peen, not an awful cut there. One chance, because we see 3 6-peen in hand. 3 8-peen in the discards. So 7-peen pretty safe as far as other tiles are concerned.
Crow's hand just keeps... Oh, wait, I just saw a pair up the 2. Oh, but Tristan had broken a pair earlier. And there goes the 5. So we will see a dealer repeat. June still making the push here. 1,500 for that Tanya, plus a Ricci stick. We'll see 1 Homebot, 2 Dora. Could be a hand that you're willing to open for Tanya. To the right, East pair isn't helpful. Yeah, I'm not sure how Tristan's going to build value here. If your goal is to make 80,000 plus 80, you need 110,000, I think, unless everyone is below 30k.
And then you only need 105.
Yeah, that's still a tough task, but we've seen some incredible hands already. This hand, though, doesn't look like that Mongon that Tristan's looking for. Mongon plus. Crow, on the other hand, has a Dora floating around. It's not part of the efficient 5-6. But if you draw a 7, you're certainly pleased. The hand is a couple tiles away. Of course, Lucas. This might be a desperation Kokushi here. If you're going to turn things around, a Yakuman is certainly a way to do it.
Only 7 distinct terminals and honors here, though. And we won't talk about the win rate for Kokushi from 7 distinct terminals and honors.
Well, 7 and a pair. Hey, you can't forget about the pair here.
No, you're right.
June making the play for Tanya, draws that 8-mon is very nice. And with the player to the left discarding middle tiles for Kokushi, you expect to be able to call whatever you need eventually.
Really could have cheated that 5-peen.
Yeah.
I would have liked the 5-peen chi there.
I think,
still cheat the 6-peen.
I think June is expecting to be able to call something along those lines later, and just wants to build this closed for as long as possible.
Yeah, just draw it. Just draws the 5-peen as soon as we say this.
Wonder if Tristan's best bet is pairs at this point. I mean, the hand has absolutely no value to it at all. Crow is sort of shifting things towards a Tanyao. That could be called to incorporate the Dora. Can also call Con on the Fourmon, but really has no incentive to do so.
Chitoy Ishanten for June.
One Dora in the wall. That's your last chance to call Pon on the 6-pin. Declines it, though.
Which makes that 3-pin a lot less useful. Because now you can't
Absolutely.
make an Onko of the 6-pin. Oh, but that too. Well, that
Mm.
still does nothing, really.
Yeah, you can shift to the 1-4-7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shape.
Okay, going away from the Chitoy now. No longer Ishanten.
カン
Oh, there's a Con.
Con!
Makes the
Fourmon Con flips the Hatsu as Dora.
3 have been cut. 4 have, all 4.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So Lucas can't really get a Kokushi then.
Yeah, and we see the West come out. And that actually makes June's hand a little bit harder now that you don't have a dedicated second pool of discards for you. What also makes June's hand harder is the fact that that 4-mon is conned, and we can see 2 of the 7-mon have been discarded already. In fact,
You can still call Pon on the 5-mon though.
right. You're not going to get that nice...
This 8-mon might be Tempai.
I think you do call it here.
And you take the Dora
Shampon.
Shampon.
Absolutely.
Oh, and there's a 5-mon. 8-mon probably comes out from Tristan though, not 5.
Right, you should shift
Well, I mean,
this.
it's not Tempai, so.
But good call from Tristan. You know, it's easy to autopilot sometimes. I've got the 6, 7, 8 shape and just throw the 5 back. Recognizes that the 8 is a little bit safer. Oh, there's a second Dora draw. And Crow now, this hand is actually becoming rather expensive.
June would have just sumoed had they chosen the 4-7 weight.
Of course, that would have been, you know, 1 tile left in the wall, Tutsumo. So, incredibly unlikely to choose that one. It's funny that this 6-mon is as safe as it is. In fact, it is... Oh, Crow could not find Tempai at the very end, so June will retain dealership, pick up 3,000. Another home ball, we go again.
Oh, Onko of the Tune for June!
And a Dora in hand as well. All the shapes needed to complete this hand. 2 away from Tempai. Onko of the 5-so for Tristan. Onko's all around. We see an Onko of the 1-so across the table for Crow. That looks like a Honitsu. There is a Dora in hand, though. Lucas, the only player without an Onko, but... I don't know, maybe we'll see a 7-mon draw? 2-pin draw? No.
Crow's first 2 discards were 3-pin, 2-pin with a Dora 4-pin in hand.
I feel like the 4-pin deserves to be the next discard at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, just that everyone knows. Con, do it, Crow! Aw.
And there goes the 4-pin. So June draws an upgrade with a 5-mon. Better Ishanten now. Riichi Chun Dora 1 for 77 would be excellent. Oh, I think you pass. Your shapes are too good.
Ishanten for Lucas. Oh, God, I don't think I would have passed. Chun Dora 1. Tempai on turn 4.
But you have Yaman Ishanten. I think that's too good to...
Yeah, but you've got Crow across the way, obviously going for some sort of Honitsu. He's already tossed 3, 2, 4, 5 pin.
True, but also you'll end up waiting on a non-so tile, so he's got to play into it. Well, if Crow pushes, they'll deal in, but I'm not sure they would push on a reach. Again, the incentive just
Lucas
really
can't
there.
decide whether to call Ricci or not. Probably has to wait for some sort of Sanshoku. This is Tempai for June. Takes it Dama, waiting on 2-pin, 5-pin.
Interesting.
And this is kind of what I was thinking. Like, if you... Like, we've seen June go, oh, 6, so...
Yeah, that's a backfire. If you'd kept the 6-mon, this would be the Sanshoku Tempai.
Right, just chose the wrong one.
1
And there's the one turn wait Ricci that we've come to expect from June.
A lot of those. Let's see. 5 and 8 is the wait for Lucas. 2 and 5 is the wait for June.
That's technically
God, that's
sumo.
sumo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an awkward position to be. Normally, I think Lucas would have tried to shift around, but with a Ricci stick on the table, I don't think that was
I don't
possible.
know. That does essentially nothing for you if you're Lucas. I
Yeah.
feel like tossing the 6-peen back in and waiting to draw a 9-peen would have been perfectly fine.
Now, on the other hand, it doesn't really affect the situation for any of the other players as well. June's still in a very good position to avoid demotion. Crow still extremely safe. And Tristan really needs to make their comeback on the dealership. So we'll see if Tristan can do so here. This dealer hand, not sparkly, but perhaps you can pair up one of these honors and start working your way.
Lucas taking the Haku needs a lot of value. Probably gonna force a Honitsu here. Has a nice, exactly one nice shape in the Dora suit that does accept Dora.
I feel like this is a play for Dai Sangan.
I mean, with a Hatsu and a Chun already gone,
Grasping at straws, but I think, like, optimistically speaking, that's what Lucas is going for. Like, Honitsu as a backup, but really just hoping to get miracle draws. And yeah, none of the hands actually look fantastic here. So very normal hands, like June's is quite close. Ishanten actually for Tanyo.
Tristan just keeps adding on to the end of this pin shape. Although an Itsu is not possible, as all 4 1-peen have already been discarded.
Ipeko,
Ishanten
though.
now for Tristan. There's a Dora for Lucas.
Chi.
June calling to Tempai, so content to take the second place all the way to the end. Dora draw for Crow. Oh, there's Sumo. So we will move forward. That almost solidifies things. Without some type of double Yakuman, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for any more positional changes to happen.
A single Yakuman would be enough for Lucas.
You are right. 32. Are you though? Actually, I'm not sure. It depends. Yeah, it's Sumo, I think.
Sumo, yes. Ron, on anybody other than Tristan.
Well, even a Roan on Tristan would be second. No, that's 40. That's 40. I can count. Yeah, that will get first place for Lucas, and kind of aiming for Suanko, I guess. So I guess we'll root for a Suanko here.
The 3-peen is Dora, and we see all of them are out actually. 2 in June's hand, 1 on the left in Tristan's hand, 1 in Crow's hand. Unfortunately for Lucas, everyone pretty close to completion right off the bat.
Crow, who doesn't even need to win this hand, is Dian Shantan. Tristan getting close as well. Two away there. Ishanten for Crow. So if we are looking to make Suanko, where are the 9s so? Both in the wall. Hatsu pair. Okay. 6-pin. One's cut. 1 in the wall. 1 mon. 2 in the wall. The tiles are there for the Suanko.
What would make this really hard was if a 1-so came out. Because you wonder whether flipping Dora or getting the Suanko, like, that's some math that I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, I think you just aim for the Suanko. Oh, there's the 1 mon. Suanko Ishanten.
Ishanten.
Surely not. There's 1 Hatsu left, 1 6-mon left. and 2-9. Oh, 1-9 mon. There's one in. Oh, 9. So rather, there's one in the hand to the left. Crow declares Ricci, but Lucas has to just fight for this.
Yeah, Tristan also Ishanten for what it's worth.
Yeah, Lucas not in danger of demoting here, so has no reason to fold. The weight is
Tempai for Tristan on the left.
1-4 pin for
Oh,
Crow.
both folding. Tempai for June across the table, but also does not accept it and folds.
Yeah, pin just the Pinzu looks so bad here.
So this is very much just a fight between Crow and Lucas.
Oh, there's the last
There's another
Hatsu.
Hatsu.
Con. Ah, that's the wrong tile. Takes the Tempai though.
Yeah, you at this point you kind of assume exhausted.
We'll see another round because Crow has gone reach. And the game does not end here.
Gaining 3,000 on people is good.
Oh, I was that Hatsu was one tile off. All right, what is the play now? Crow.
789 Sanshoku is not enough. So Kokoshi?
Yeah, I think Kokushi for Lucas. Oh, there's
Well,
another
there's your
draw.
Eight unique terminals and honors. Yep, that feels like the play here. Especially tossing Dora.
Home.
West calls okay, you already have one in hand.
But June Ishanten.
Yeah, that is the hard part about Kokushi. It is so much slower than.
And this 3-mon's gonna feed June. Yep, that's Tempai waiting on Tupin. Which will, I mean,
It comes out right away.
Dong.
So that will confirm first place for Tristan and second place for June. We'll see the final standings here. Plus 30 for Tristan. A valiant effort in this final game. Started off with some just incredible hands. June with some massive wins as well. Plus 16 in second place. Crow played to the game plan. And, well, we can go ahead and offer our congratulations to Crow for their promotion into the A1 division. And for Lucas, a little bit unlucky in that final game. Had some unfortunate dealings, but then made a valiant effort out of it, fighting for the Yakuman that would lead to promotion, and got so close to Tempai for that Suanko at the end. A valiant effort from all the players at this table. Very fun games to watch.
Oh, both amazing, Han-chan.
And it's so good at the end of the season to see all these tight scenarios that come into play. We'll see the final standings for A2. And first overall, Daniel with plus 186. Also in promotion, Zilong, Kevin, Anthony, Aaron, Crow, and Kaz. Congratulations to all of those players for advancing into the A1, the expanded A1 division. And as someone who is likely soon to be demoting from that division, good luck. The players up there are certainly quite difficult to play against. But then again, these are this group is formidable in their own right. So I'm sure we'll see some exciting play in the winter season for the A1 division. The upcoming matches, I'm quite excited to cast and watch.
Oh, it'll be a bunch of fun for sure.
All right. Well, with that being said, we do have more Mahjong coming your way. A B3 match has just started, and so we'll be waiting out the 5-minute delay. It will be Steven, Yuanxi, Xiangyu, and Jessa all at in B3-7, table B3-7. Yes, they'll be starting
There's
in 5
just
minutes.
So many B3 tables. And Jessa, who I am horrified of because of their absolutely outrageous IORMC American qualifier performance.
Absolutely. For those of you who aren't aware, the IORMC stands for International Online Ricci Mahjong Championship. It's an international competition between, as many countries as sign up for it. The USA qualifiers have been going on for a few weeks now, and I believe we are wrapping things up. There are only 2 more qualifiers left, so a bit late to start if you haven't already played a session. But in the first session, Jessa just absolutely went on a tear. 4 first places, including like a plus 70, plus 80 finish on a
Yeah,
table.
ended the day with a counted Yakuman, a 13 Han Yakuman to end the day.
Out of 4 Hanchan rather, finished with plus 264, I think. Just an absolute ridiculous score. So congratulations to Jessa for that incredible game. I'm quite excited to be able to watch their matches from this end. I got to play against. I actually dealt into that counted Yakuman, but now I get to. I did.
Oh
So,
my god!
but I get to watch it from this end and see how those incredible hands come to play. So, well, now that a little bit of time has passed, we will take a break and come back in about 2 minutes for the start of that match. You won't want to miss that one either. Stay tuned for the B3.
Boom.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The gong has sounded. We are in play, and we see an early call from Jessa to the left already. Go around and look at the table. Our dealer, Sir Mr. Guy, is Steven. To the right, Lynx is Yuanxi. Across the table, Jensen is Xiangyu. And to the left, Ipamoea. Not sure the pronunciation on that one. That one is Jessa. And Jessa starting out already with an incredibly exciting hand. Lots of pairs, including a pair of the Chun, which is the Dora. So we could see a battle for Toy Toy, Haku, Chun, Dora 3. Or, just Cheetah 789. Instead, we see a Ricci from the dealer to start us off. Ippatsu deal in from Yuan-Si. Ricci, Ippatsu only, no Ura. So 3900, nice start for Steven. Does kill that expensive hand that Jessa was building to the left. All right, well, into East 1-1. Steven here. Reasonable high pie. I want to turn this into Chanto or Junchan somehow, but it's more likely you end up with a normal hand. There is a door that you'd love to build around it, that being the 3-mon. Right, we have a pair of the Hatsu. We might see Yuan-Si finding a way to call into a faster Tenpai. Actually, a pair of the South as well. So 2 away from Tenpai here. Across the table. This hand looks Pinfu-esque. I'm trying to make a Sanchoku out of this, but not quite seeing it here. I'm aiming for a Ricci, and of course, the Dora is always nice to have. To the left, Jessa wants to draw a Dora, maybe build a 2-3-4 Sanchoku. But currently, just looks like a Tanyo at the moment. Steven drawing into that 8899 shape is a bit awkward because really to complete 2 shapes out of that, you need to find 2 7-pin. We can see the 8-pin already discarded here, the 9-pin as well. One's gone, so it's hard to make an Anko out of that shape.
Boom.
Hatsu is called, and we'll see the 2-3 pin leave the hand. I wonder if the final South comes out, we'll see a call and a headless Ishanten. Instead, we see
The
Reach.
Ishanten, though, across the table, which is going to be a 2-mon, 5-mon weight, Arianmen for Ricci Pinfudora 1.
Yeah, perfectly acceptable hand to start us off. Oh, the 2-mon does come out, and we'll deal into that Ricci Pinfudora. For 3900, plus the Reach Stick, plus the Homba. And we have a lead change. Jensen across the table. Slim margin, 300 points in the lead.
Ooh. 2 Dora for Lynx.
Yeah, could open up for Tanyao here. Certainly a reasonable approach. To the right. Awkward shapes. Probably aiming for a Ricci to use that Dora. Across the table, hoping to draw a pair of 3-pin. And make an Ipeiko there. I'm trying to find a way to make Junchan as well. Of course, that is a sort of last resort. To the left. That is Steven, who is building towards a Pinfu, it looks like. More pairs for Jessa. That's 4 now. Nope, 3. I misread one of those tiles. And at this point, now that Lynx has drawn the pair of Haku, we might see a different type of calling. Not the Tanyao. Oh, now the Hatsu paired up, but that's twice cut.
Still need a pair. I mean, that is 4 pairs.
Yeah.
Could get Chitoy Dora 2. Could call for the Haku.
The sticky point here is the 7-mon, and you might end up with pairs as a result of not being able to find a 7-mon.
There are already 3, 1 each in all the other hands.
Tempting to call this and go Otozuke for the Haku.
Steven on the left
Boom.
filled in that Nakabukure shape. The 3-4-4-5 shape's really good for creating a sequence in Arianmen, and drew the 2-pin, and now it's waiting for 3-pin, 6-pin to finish that up and get to Tenpai.
Yep. Would accept a 6-so, 9-so as well. Ishanten for Steven, and Lynx does make the call. Will require the Haku at this point. Oh, there's a 7.
There was an interesting decision by Jessa across the table, discarding the 3-pin. Has 1-1-2-2, and that 3-pin would have secured one of those shapes and been Ishanten. and that actually would have been Tenpai on the 8-so draw waiting on the 3-peen, but instead elected to toss the 3-peen back. What do you think Jess is aiming for here?
Perhaps feels that the 1-pin, 2-pin Champon is a tricky weight and wants to retain the 5-5-7 shape in hand. I think at that point you had to either discard from your 5-7-9 so Yankan or drop from the 5-5-7
Eat.
Mon shape in order to retain the 3-pin. I think I still would have dropped from the Mon shape, but there we see the backfire. Redraws the 3, but now you're Furiten. So this is a little bit of trouble for Jessa. In the meantime,
Wow.
Jensen has declared Ricci with a Champon weight. Ricci Dora 1, 4 Mon, 9 Mon.
Well, and Jessa Furitin waiting on no more 3-peen in the wall. So
Yeah.
Jessa cannot win this hand under any circumstances.
Oh no, but Steve drew the last 7. That will deal into the Hakudora 2 hand for Lynx, and this will be a big pickup. This will actually shoot Lynx all the way into the lead. All right. So bailed out is Jessa. And we will see a dealer continuance once again. Lynx here aiming for perhaps a Tanya or an Itsu. To the right, we've got some lower shapes. Perhaps a 2-3-4 Sanshoku is possible. Across the way, these shapes are awkward. 4-5-6 Sanshoku is a way to make value, though. And the east pair in Steven's hand on the left means that he can call to speed things up a little bit. No one here with an incredible amount of value, though.
Home.
I guess the highest possible value would be Itsu Honitsu from Lynx. Could throw away the 6-8 Mon shape right now. He's obviously thinking hard about it. Discards the more efficient 1-so instead.
I think Lynx is committed to using the Haku as a pair here, and is holding on to the 7 in the hopes of perhaps building into Ipeko. Although when you're deciding between Ipeko or Itsu chance, I'm not sure which one's better here. Either way, it will be a little bit tricky as it requires drawing 2 very specific tiles. A little bit of a shape upgrade for Lynx, so Ishanten Tenpai on 7 Mon or 8 Mon, or of course the 2-5 pin. And decides the Champon is not a good shape to have. A little bit inefficient to keep the West here, but it's a matter of safety at this point.
Jensen, a very wide Ishanten as well, could still get 2-3-4 Sanshoku, but kind of hard to swing.
Yeah, the problem is if you draw the 2 Mon, then you're Tenpai.
8-so Tenpai for Steven on the left.
If you do draw the 2 Mon, I guess you declare the 5-so Ricci. And that 8-so Tenpai, 3 in the wall. So again, not valuable. This is, I think, the first door we've seen all game, and it just comes right out. Tenpai
And
for
no one needs this. There's the Ricci.
Ricci Tanyao Pinfu, 3-6. Oh, I'm sorry. Chooses to discard the 3 Mon instead. So, same hand, but it's 3-6 so instead. There's a 6-so, but that will be retained in hand as Steven improves the weight. Now it's a 5-8 so.
Tenpai now for Lynx.
Ooh, everyone getting there. Lynx can actually not win as they've not declared the Ricci. Without Itsumo, of course.
Might need to chase here. Doesn't.
G.
I mean, has no value, so I mean, it'd be Ricci only.
Yeah, might be concerned about where the remaining Dora are. And Jessa makes a call, throws herself into the fray, looking for Tanyao here, but a little bit far away and would have to deal in.
Steven had Tenpai, but refused it. Tossed the necessary peen tile. Then the 9-peen made Steven Tenpai. Didn't take it. The 3-so will deal in to Jensen here.
Reach Pink Tanyao, no Uda, but still another 3,900 pickup. That seems to be Jensen's strategy here. Make 3 Han over and over again. That's certainly valid. Wow, Ishanten from the first discard. Wait, there's no pair in that hand. I take that back. 2 Shanten from the first discard.
Yeah, how dare you?
Now
How
we're
dare you call
Ishanten.
this turn 2 Ishanten hand Ishanten at turn 1?
I feel like whenever we miscall Ishanten, immediately the tile is drawn.
Any tile you call is immediately drawn. There's Tenpai. There's not Tenpai.
It is Tenpai. It's a pair weight though, and Jensen will not take the Ricci here.
I mean, it's so easy to upgrade this.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd love to draw Dora, but it's actually really hard to find. 2 are across the table in Steven's hand. And
What do you do if you draw 1 ping?
That actually... Ooh, that's tempting to go for the Sanshoku. I might even... Like, the Ricci there isn't bad.
Not
You
bad.
have the Suji trap. But the Sanshoku is also kind of tempting. And I'm really looking at Toyman's hand. Steven, Ishanten for Ricci Dora 2.
1
Yeah, nine mon feels like a pretty good weight. Once cut, terminal, harder to use. But Toyman has 2 of the Dora, and you were pointing out that hand already.
Looks like Steven wants to play this a little bit conservatively, though. Looks like the lower pin shapes will come out. No one else really in a good position to fight. We've seen some fighting Mahjong from Jessa, though. We'll see if they continue to push. And there's a 1-mon.
Ricci.
There's Tenpai, so we will see the Ricci. This is just the 7, so Ricci Nomi.
There's still 1 5-peen left in the wall. If it's in the dead wall, that could be Urasan.
Oh, another 9-mon drawn by Steven, who is playing pretty defensively here, although the 9-mon is safe to Jessa. Of course, usually you're a little bit more concerned about the dealer when it's Ricci versus Ricci. But then at the same time, usually the second Ricci has a better weight. Or value worth fighting for.
4 pairs now for Steven across the table.
So far, it seems the players have identified the Pinzu as the safe suit.
Just toss them all. Neither of these are good weights.
One more 9-mon to be drawn. One more 7-so to be drawn.
And only 11 more tiles. Oh, but the 9-mon comes out!
Not trusting the 2-pin Suji. And I actually was looking at the discards there. What was was there an Uda found? I was looking to see if that was Suji or not. And yeah, we'd seen the 9-mon looked safe to one, not safe to the other, and that's the one that deals in. Link's calling the Haku already, going for that Honitsu. No other value just yet. Dealer with a reasonable hand as well. Already 2 completed shapes. And another pair found, so 2 completed shapes and 2 pairs. A Honitsu on the right for Jessa, and this will be in the Sozu. That is the Dora suit.
It is interesting with the Honitsus being across from each other because they can't feed each other.
Right. Yeah, usually if they're next to each other, the player to the right in turn order has an advantage.
That 2-mon can be called, and is taken as a chi.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. I might have considered a Pulm there.
My instinct would have been to Pwn, but that would have, not with a bunch of thought, more just like gut reaction.
Sure.
There's another Onko for Jensen here.
This could be quite sparkly, depending on the next draw. If you draw the 7-mon, well,
Which we
cannot. But 9-mon, now we have Sananko chance.
Yep. Well, we would have had Sananko chance on the 7-mon, as you were saying, but now we have 6-mon, 9-mon Tenpai for Link, so 9-mon discard from either Jessa or Steven would be a double Ron.
Yeah, this is a little dangerous for Jessa. If she continues to push the Honitsu and draws a 9-mon, that would be certainly expensive. Ooh, 3-mon is so scary. Oh, there's the 9-mon!
there it is!
Fold! Oh no!
It's a double Ron!
That's gonna be a massive hit. 3,900 from the open hand. And what about the closed one?
The question is Ura.
Nura. Okay.
It's 24.
So it's just like dealing into a Mongon. Not great, but not as bad as it could have been. Double Ron is so scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, the two people with the most to fight for here are Jessa and Lynx. Lynx is currently fit for promotion. Would promote as long as they are able to stay positive and stay above, it looks like 15th there. Jessa just needs about 8 points to get into the area of being able to promote. Steven, though, very close as well. Over the course of 4 Hanchan, could pretty easily get up into that promoting zone.
Yeah, we see a gap in the numbers there. Steven down in 22nd place. But that's... The distance in ranking is maybe not quite as big as you think it is. It really isn't that far off, given the negative 23 compared to positive 26. And yeah, definitely we've seen over the course of 4 Hanchan, anything could happen.
It'll be interesting to see what Jensen pushes for here. Has a lot of Manzu, but all of the shapes are awkward.
Yeah, this might be one where you just start calling for Chinitsu.
That feels like the only way it would complete, honestly. But similarly, Steven across the table has better shapes, but a sort of similar hand. 4 pairs, a lot of Sozu, but those pairs are surrounded by a lot better tiles.
Yeah, it feels like that one wants to end up being a normal hand, but really anything could happen there. It really depends on which draw you get first. There's another Mon draw for Jensen. Still retaining the opportunity to accept the Dora here, but really leaning in the Chinitsu direction. And the discards don't really indicate that at all. Just looks like some honors and some terminals and terminal adjacent tiles.
Ishanten for Jessa on the right.
Might have regretted dropping that 4-pin, Dora 4-pin a little bit early. Oh, but this is Tenpai. Which weight do you want? We'll choose the Nobetan. Would have gotten Pinfu if the 1-4 was accepted. But it looks like upper Pinzu are live, and so perhaps just feels like she'll be able to find the 9-pin.
Yes, 6-pin, 9-pin feels like a better weight than 1-so, 4-so here. Mm-hmm. But 1-so, 4-so, of course, is more value. It's just... Ooh, there's the 9-pin. Oh, but draws the Sumo!
Jessa predicted it, read the wall, reached Sumo. No Ura, but that's a star. That makes up for one of the hands. And now you're dealer. Now you can really put some pressure on. Let's take a look at this dealer Haipai. Ooh, that pin shape looks like an Itsu to me. A chance to accept Dora twice, actually. Oh, and there's the 1-pin fill. So we might see something fancy here from Jessa. To the right, there is a south pair. So Steven could call and open this hand, speed this along, prevent Jessa from making any progress here. And across the table, Lynx is looking to build towards a reach. He has a door and would love to draw around that.
No, excuse me, Sanshoku Doku. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Sanshoku Doku is unlikely, given that we can see...
I don't want to hear anything about the 1-2-3 Mon. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it would necessitate drawing the last one Mon, and then seeing it come out of Jensen or Jessa's hands. But, you know, who am I to rain on the Doko parade? Jensen actually getting quite close. Might see the 1-mon come out here. Oh, no, starts with the Haku. We got 2 tiles. Not quite 2. Now 2.
Headless Ishanten for Jensen now. That 1-2-4 shape actually pretty nice for
Gee.
generating a head.
Yeah, Jessa, or sorry, not Jessa, rather, we've shifted around. Steven speeding things up here. Now Ishanten.
A lot of Conchon shapes to fill for Steven.
Okay, now we've hit Ishanten for Jensen. Well, so many players here want to draw a Dora. Oh, I guess 2 players want to draw a Dora.
I mean, that's so many. That's too many players waiting for Dora, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
What do you toss if you're Jessa here? Did you just throw the 6-bean back?
I think so. Yeah. I guess the 8 pin is efficient here, but maybe at this point you don't think the Itsu is going to happen, and you just want to lock in the perfect Ishanten. We can already see 1 6-pin discarded, so it's not... I guess you get extra 9-pin draws. 2 extra 9-pin draws. Yeah, it might be worth it to just drop the 8 here already. Because if you draw the 4-pin, are you not going to take the Ricci or the 7-pin? I think it's probably worthwhile to play it more efficiently there. But yeah, my instinct was just throw it back. The Doko officially dead now. May it rest in peace.
All we need is a Doko Necromancer.
Well, I don't know if those... Oh, there's a door drop.
リーチ
But you have to toss the 8-pin!
Yep. Unfortunately...
376 though. Ricci Pin Fudora 1.
Oh, lots in the walls. 6 for a Yamen wait this late? That is excellent.
Oh, wow. That feels like a certain sumo.
It does, right? I almost felt like it was going to be Ipatsu.
A nice improvement for Jensen. Would have to toss the 4 mana and is willing. There's the 3-so. Let's get it.
Reached Sumo Pinfutora and no Ura, but still not a bad pickup for Jessa. Right back into things now. In fact, all the way into 3rd with double tone now.
Double tone.
And great shapes to accompany it. So Jessa starting to heat up a little bit. To the right, we've got, also very good shapes for Steven. Looks like a guaranteed Pinfu here. Oh, Ishanten already. Okay. Perfect Ishanten at that, and a Dora. So maybe there's contenders as far as speed is concerned.
That East, though, is kind of just hanging out loose in Jensen's hand. We could see it come out at any time.
Yeah, Jensen tends to discard those honors pretty early, it looks like. Might even see it here. Thinking, no, just those one back. Yeah, the 3-4-4 shape.
Out of my hand already, to be honest.
I wonder...
I hate
Oh, there's another one.
no draw here.
Yeah, 4779 shape is awkward. There's the East finally, and we will see the call and the presumably 1-so.
The bird. Toss out the bird.
Just maximizing the shapes here. Won't be able to use all of these.
Link shop shifting for Tanya.
You don't need this 2-pin. And declines the call. Still Ishanten for Steven. Jensen, of course, trying to figure out how to make use of both of those Dora. So many pairs now. Almost needs to grab a pair of 7-mon. There's a second call for Jessa. Now, which shape do you want? The 7-9 or the 2-4?
But it didn't help.
Oh, it did.
Did it?
Yeah.
I guess our problem was we didn't have a pair either way. So I guess we now are Ishanten.
Yeah, if you could think about the 1-pin as your pair, then you had the 2-3 shape, the 7-9 shape, the 2-4 shape, and then the 4-5 shape. So too many blocks. You had to end up getting rid of one of them. And we have Tenpai in the 8-pin.
3 left in the wall.
I wonder if there's an argument to keep the 2-4 in the for the chance that you are able to draw and make use of Dora. But now you can set up a Suji trap.
Yeah, and that, that sort of hesitation is not one that's really easy to read. Could take the Ontansu weight here.
Nice switch.
1-peen, 4-peen.
Yeah.
Tenpai as well for links across the table, waiting on 8 Mon 7 So.
Just Tanya over there. This is just double tone. Here's the 4.
Oop,
Ooh,
that's
that
dealing.
yeah, it does not fit in the
No.
hand at all. And that's actually quite nice. You get to use the 1 pin as a concealed Anko there. I guess either way you would have been able to do that.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It's hard to talk about without being able to see the hand, but you would be forced to, I believe, interpret that one peen as a concealed Anko because you must always interpret the hand for the most expensive value, and the one peen as a concealed Anko adds quite a bit of foo, 8 foo to be exact, as opposed to 4 if it's open or 0 if it's a run.
But Jessa drawing excellently here at the start. Already Ishan then again. The shapes are a little awkward. Oh, another pair. There's a world where you dream about Sun Anko and then wish you had the 1 pin back. But yeah, Jessa's dreaming. There's also Ipeko chance, and I think that swings it in favor of the Sun Anko route.
Home.
We see a call of the 6, though. Steven wants to end this dealership, and so we'll go Otozuke waiting for the South to come out. Ishanten for Steven. Unfortunately, not able to make use of that Dora 1 mon just yet, but we'll retain it in hand in the hopes of pairing it up.
Jensen, with a similar decision to make, ends up tossing the pair of Tuso as opposed to getting rid of the Dora 1 mon.
And not really any indication that this is a Toitsuba, but
A what?
a Toitsuba, like a pair-based, when everyone gets pairs in their hands.
Oh, I see.
But maybe if Jensen knew what was in Jessa's hand, would have considered keeping the pairs around. And now draws a pair of the Dora. Interesting.
That's nice.
We still might see more pairs come out because the Yamen shapes are pretty powerful here. Jessa probably depressed to see Tuso leave the hand. But you wanted the Sun Anko anyway, so...
Yeah. I mean, well, Jessa can just call for Toy Toy here.
Well, it's interesting. Redrew the 1 pin, and so there's 50-10 chances unless you can find the 3rd 1 pin, or the final 1 pin.
If you're Jessa, you do see 3 2-peen visible. It's very hard for someone else to make use of that final 1 peen.
Right.
But does toss it.
Ooh, that's a nice little shift for Lynx, who can now treat the 579 shape as a Yankan. Oh, and there's Tenpai, drew into the Anko themselves.
The 2 mon.
Did find a way to make use of the Dora, so it will be South Dora 1 for 2,600. Tumon, not very live, only 1 in the wall.
A psych out hesitation on the cheat.
Oh, there's another Tumon. That's the final 1.
I mean, you could use it in hand, sort of.
Yeah, and chooses to discard. Wait, oh, Dora Tonki. This is some clever play.
Shifting for it. All of the Dora left are in Jensen's hand.
Jensen continues to draw pairs. And might end up discarding the Dora for Tenpai, depending on what gets drawn.
That was an interesting choice. I actually would have liked a 9-so discard there to ensure the one mon gets used in hand. That would have been Chitoi Ishanten.
I think I do like, if it's Ishanten, I like it, the Chitoi a little bit better. This, of course, also Ishanten, but doesn't make use of both Dora. Oh, and there's Tenpai. The 1 will have to come out.
Each.
Yeet. There it is.
Wrong.
So Steven will pick up the win. A very nice 5,200.
Now, this game, once again, as we go into the South round, this game now very tight.
Yeah, we've seen points flying all over the place. But entering the South round, only 1 player up at 35. The rest of them, went down at 24, and the rest kind of in the middle. Steven starts off with 4 pairs, maybe a Toy dash. The 5 mon is a bit awkward.
The The double Yakuhai is very endearing to see, though.
Absolutely. East Dora comes out early from Lynx, who, yeah, does look to have some type of Tanyao type shapes there. Across the way, some pairs, but this looks more like a Ricci hand. On the left, another player who drew the Dora and discarded it immediately. Another hand that was pretty close to Tenpai and probably wasn't going to be able to make use of the Dora.
Chitoi Ishanten for Steven.
Pom.
Do you take this? Does. With the 5-so and 5-mon in hand, that's not an immediate call for me.
Yeah.
Like, you've got it now, but, I mean, even if you get one of them, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like a hand that completes.
Well, we've seen, I guess perhaps you...
Come on!
Ooh!
Gets it! Flips the 4-peen as the new Dora, which is immediately drawn by Lynx and kept.
And it also, Jensen draws a 4-pin as well. Will Tenpai for Jessup that will not win. There's no Yaku.
Jessup will get the tune.
Well, tune, and then you have to discard for a pair weight.
Could shift towards 6-7-8 Sanshoku here if you discard the 3-peen. Could just like slowly start moving that way, but doesn't.
Yeah, that would be funny. Wants to be able to use the Dora, I guess, but again, no Yaku. And Steven might have been looking at the discards and seeing all these Monzu tiles coming out and thinking, actually the 5-mon might not be that bad of a weight.
5-mon is looking better and better. I mean, none have been drawn yet.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. One could be used across the table in Jensen's hands, and I guess Jessica could use it as well, technically.
I mean, that would be just a different Tenpai. All right, there's the 2-peen.
Yeah, chooses.
We're on the least desirable weight now.
The greedy weight is here. Could have taken the 4-7, but chose for the Toy Toy, and it makes a lot of sense. The 7 does come out, though. Lynx Tenpai for Tanyao, waiting 3-6 pin. Oh, and there's a 3-pin. So that will deal in for Tanyao Dora 1. Just the 2,000 points. It feels bad when you greed for some value, and then your other winning tile comes out, and then you deal in on the next draw. It's a little unfortunate. But I can certainly appreciate the play. We move to Lynx Dealership. Haku pair, Dora in hand. Not amazing shapes elsewhere, so we might see a call and go type play pattern. To the right, double south in Jensen's hand. And we might also see a hand that calls quickly here. Across the table, Jessa has an Anko of the 2-so already. Good Tanyao shapes, even slight Itsu possibilities. But that south doesn't quite fit in yet. And then on the left, Steven, potentially Itsu in the Mon. Outside of that, 789 is a way to make value. Go for the Sanshoku there. The Itsu's kind of coming together.
Jensen making an interesting call. Discards the pair of 9-mon. I guess ensuring the 5-so as a pair. I mean, you want to call the south.
Right.
And there it is. Now we see the second 9-mon cut. So now Ishanten.
Yes. Just double south. And there's the call from Lynx, who is now Ishanten as well. Headless at the moment. Jessica considering to speed up her own hand, but not willing to do so just yet.
Ooh, there's the Anko of 5-so. Do you discard 7-8-peen? No, it's discarding away from the Monzu shape.
Yeah, so treating this as a bit of a headless shape, you can now accept the 3, 6, and 9 pin, or just draw into a pair of something. There's the 3, and this will now we'll be waiting on the 6-9. Now, some exciting ways to increase the value here would be a con of the 5-so, or to wait on a different Tonki, although Dora Tonki isn't good here. 6, oh, that's Fruity 10. Yeah, has to throw that back.
I feel like you still take it though. Like it's such a good for a 10.
Yeah, it's tempting. Ooh, will we see a different Tonki? I mean, it's a very ugly Tonki here. Yeah, it does not take it. We'll be waiting on the final Dora.
I would have taken it because of the possible Toy Toy shift. Even though it's a hell weight, like it's hell weight for Dora, and if you draw a 1-peen or a 3-peen, you can shift towards Toy Toy, which Haku Toy Toy Dora 2 would be nice. Oh, but it gets the 8-so Tonki! Saw it coming!
Yeah, I actually do like the shift to the final 2-pin, even though it seems a little unlikely. I rather like that shape. I think it's because I had a game once where I waited on it and just like randomly sumoed the Mongon, and that has stuck with me throughout, the rest of my Mahjong playing.
You never forget those. You're like, I won it once, I therefore can always win.
Exactly.
It is classic Mahjong player logic.
Well, we might see some dueling Honitsus here. To the right, Jensen has a lot of pin tiles and a pair of Dora Haku. Maybe because that's Dora, you're not necessarily committing to the Honitsu here.
You certainly don't need to force it.
Yeah, across
Just
the
take your points and run.
Jessa across the table had a possibility at Honitsu as well, but choosing to play this a little bit more traditionally. And the hand to the left looks very much like a Tanyao. Of course, dealer choosing to speed things along and go go for another repeat.
Lynx could still get Toy Toy here.
Definitely possible. And there's another Pon. Ishanten now for Lynx.
Draw 6-peen or 7-peen.
Orso is a great pickup for Jensen. Oh, Haku drawn.
Oh my god!
Sukadama.
Impai. Waiting on 4-peen.
And of course, it's so easy to improve this weight. Jessa has a 4-pin just floating out there.
That is a weight improvement, but I almost feel like I wouldn't take it.
A 5-8 is good.
Because now you can't get Sana Anko. You can't get 3 concealed triplets anymore.
I think you have enough value to accept the better weight.
That's true. And this is Tenpai for Lynx.
Probably
gotta choose.
2-5?
Is thinking. Might not.
Oh.
Chooses Champon 3-peen format.
Will we see a con? There is.
Con! Now you have to call Ricci on whatever the hell you're gonna wait on. Doesn't. No. But all the Dream.
The 5.
Dream of the
Oh, better wait. What about this time?
Yeah, Ricci.
Oh, Dala still.
Good.
The new door.
3-so, 5-so, 6-so weight. So for those who are not familiar with this weight, this is you treat the 2 4-so as a pair, and then 4 5-so as a Ryeonman, so you can win on 3-so, 6-so, or you can treat the 4-so as an Anko, as a concealed triplet, and wait on the 5-so as a pair. So it ends up being a really clever 3-sided weight. Ryeonman, but the 4 end up dealing it into Lynx's Champon.
No!
Doesn't take it!
Oh no!
Calls pawn instead of run. That has to be a misclick, right?
Well, I mean, Lynx was sort of setting up for it. Could have chosen the Yamen weight, right? But instead, the 5-so is going to come out and deal into the Mongon. I'm a bit baffled, to be honest. I think if this was earlier in the hand and the Dora was not conned to the right, I would consider making the play for Toy Toy. But with seeing where the Dora are, I need to end this hand as soon as possible. I would have called it wrong. Were we missing a Furiten somehow?
Maybe was there a call that there wasn't a call.
No, not to the right. It wasn't a Chi, and it wasn't a Pon either because it was a Champon. Yeah, so it was just a choice or a misclick.
Or a misclick.
Yeah,
and that does really happen, especially on Tenho. And if you have to play on mobile too. Misclicking on call is pretty easy actually.
I have definitely had my fair share of misclicks, not just on calls, but draws and everything in between.
Either way, though, Jensen going into the dealership now only 1,200 behind.
Yeah, making a play at things. Has the pair of Hatsu. Could even be considering Honitsu.
Honitsu, but in this game, I feel like it's gotta be Toy Toy.
Right?
On the 3-so.
This Hanchan has definitely been a Toy Toy Hanchan. And, well, I think the best hand here might be on the left. Lynx with an incredibly callable hand. Even a world where 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku is possible.
Steven with 8 distinct terminals and honors, kind of going for the Kokushi. Not really much else at play.
Yeah, that early 8-mon kind of gives up the... That is not Honitsu here. Nice little upgrade for Jessa with a 5-pin pickup. Yeah, it really seems to be a battle between Jensen and Lynx here. Who can find Tenpai first? I think we call this Hatsu.
That helps.
6-mon comes out, so still floating the possibility of the Honitsu here.
But these shapes are so sad. I mean, this is Ishan 10.
Yeah,
It's just a sad Ishan 10.
not a lot of value here. Hatsudora 1. Technically Tenpai,
Yes.
and we will see the Richi on the Suji Chap 3. Oh, immediately drawn. And do you trust Richi Suji? We do, and that will deal in. Ron is taken this time. Richi, Ipatsu, Tanyao, and Noda, 5200, will help secure the lead for Lynx here. And we will enter South 4, Jessa's final dealership. Dora is the east. We see one to the left, one across the table, and none in the dealer's hand. But however, Leo has other ways of making value here. Potentially Peiko, potential Pinfu, and yeah, actually Pinfu Peiko looks really strong here. You've got all Yamen shapes. To the right, potential Itsu in the Monsu. Outside of that, you're making Arichi. I mean, Steven wants to get as much as he can out of this hand. Doesn't have a dealership left, so if you're going to make a pull to get out of, rather push to get out of first place, rather a push to get out of fourth place, you're going to have to be building some type of value out of this.
You had said that Jessa has all Rionman shapes, and I was going to challenge that and say, but look at all the pairs. But I didn't feel comfortable doing so because there was only 3 in hand. But Jessa immediately drew a 4th, so we could see a Chi Toy or Toy Toy shift here.
Yeah, so
On how the balls go.
I really like this shape then, because you could perceive them to be Yamen shapes, or you could perceive them to be pairs, and the more flexibility you have in your hand, the more options you have, the more ways you can construct it. Instead, it actually chooses to discard the one so pair, so looks to be aiming for a Tanyao here, or 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku.
Well, although if you're aiming for a more pure Tanyao, tossing the 7-peen isn't really the play. I feel like tossing the 7-peen's better for the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although that does force either the 6 or 7 so to be your pair.
Right, and I think this is where you just continue dropping the 1-2 shape and give yourself the ability to use the 7-pin as a pair. As we can see, we would be Ishan Ted right now.
Indeed, we do have Tenpai across the way for Chitoy waiting on... It's Chitoy Dora 2 waiting on Formon.
Yeah, Lynx managed to pair up the Dora here. Doesn't like the Formon as a weight, but can certainly improve that. 3-pin is 50-10, so we'll throw that right back. Could call for Ishan Ted.
G.
And I think you drop the 7-8. Yeah.
Yep.
So now you have your Tanyao's guaranteed.
Onmon, not good. You really expect to be able to improve that Chitoy weight, but just keeps drawing not useful tiles there.
Oh. Yeah, this is an interesting play. I thought the 5-8 would be retained here, the 5-8 weight in the Monzu, but likes the 8-pin. I mean, if you look around, everyone seems to be dropping pin tiles. There's only one left, and only one 2-mon left. These discards pose two consecutive questions to the hand that looks like Chinitsu, and both times it's declined. What about 2-pin as a weight? Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Wait, no, but didn't take it as a weight. Toss the 1-mon.
Oh, this is a
exits Tenpai.
Honitsu push?
Oh my god, it is! That's exactly what it is, and now the 9-pin's gonna come out, and we're gonna get not Tenpai for the Honitsu, now Ishan 10 for Toy Toy Honitsu Dora 2, possible Dora 3.
We have seen some wild moves in this game. If this hand wins, I might need to start taking lessons from Lynx. There goes the 2-pin.
Make it look like your Tenpai. That 4-pin coming. So now we have Toy Toy Honitsu.
Oh, there's the Dora!
There's the East! That's Adora. It's once cut.
Each.
It's
Oh, it's gonna come out!
on the
Don't.
Ricci. Sumo Gary Ricci on the Dora in the final hand to build the Toy
Oh,
Toy
the
Box
Paimon!
for 3 Paimon. 16,000 points puts Lynx way in the lead, and it's gonna drop Jensen all the way down to 3rd place.
Sign me up for lessons. How much you charging? Plus 52.9. And what a final hand. Absolutely insane.
That's gonna launch Lynx all the way from 13th place to 5th.
What? Alright, I gotta see the standings update. Alright.
Yes, look at this.
And Jessica gets second out of all of that. After everything is said and done. And Lynx, of course, the only player. There we go. There's the updates. Plus 93.6 for Lynx. What a game. At every opportunity, chose to push for the higher value. And managed to... Oh, I'm seeing... I accidentally hit a mic thing, so I'm sorry if I was blowing out the eardrums of everyone who was listening. I was so excited. I think I set my mic to like max volume, so I apologize to all the headphone users.
It's the only way you can keep up with my shouting is by artificially increasing the volume of your voice.
I'm like, why is my mic maxed out? I'm in the red here, and it's like, oh no, the poor viewers. Well, hopefully you heard something, and you are still able to hear even now. What a finish for Lynx, and just with a negative 2.4 is a respectable finish given all the madness that happened on that table. Jensen, negative 15.7 in third. Still needs more out of these games, and Steven drops a little bit. Wasn't exactly the result he was looking for, but we still have 3 more to go. I don't know if we're playing all 3.
Plenty, yeah, that's plenty to make up the deficit that Steven has currently. Although you were in such a better position before this 4th. Like, taking a 4th in that first Hanchan is so demoralizing.
Yeah, it is. It is so difficult to come back after a 4th and say, well, I had a goal set, now I need to adjust, my focus and recalculate what needs to happen. In fact, I think that's might be what's going on right now. The next game has not started just yet.
It has. It started like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. Well, then let's just hop right back to the game.
I thought it did.
I think.
Yeah, it started at 51.
So then they're probably just about to begin. Yeah, I misread that. I thought that was the previous game. So it looks like Jesse will be our first dealer. And then Jensen to the right, and Steven across the table, and the big winner of the last game on the left. I'm still blown away by the fact that late in the hand you can throw away Chitoidora Chutenpai and push for the Baimon and then just win it. That is incredible.
And just take it. Just absolutely rip it.
And not even there was Honitsu Chitoi, right? Oh no, I'm misremembering the hand. Yeah, the one mon pair had to come out. But yeah, because I was expecting, 2-pin looks pretty good on this table. And then you said no.
It did.
Drop Tenpai.
I
Like,
would have
what?
loved Ricci Chitoidora 2 waiting on the 2-pin. We do have the deal set now.
Absolutely insane stuff. We'll see if we can match the madness of that last game here. Just the first dealer has a Dorachun in hand, has good shapes for an Itsu or just a Ricci. To the right, we've got lots of Tanyao type tiles. Not a lot of value just yet. Across the way, an Uncle, the 1-pin, nothing spectacular to see here either. Good floating tiles, though. Perhaps you can make a 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku. To the left, Lynx. Some awkward shapes. Just Tanyao right now. But perhaps you can draw towards us a Honitsu. Require some amazing draws in the first few. turns.
weird draws for Jensen on the right. 5 pairs now. Went from like 2 pairs to 5 pairs in 3 draws, I think. So now Chitoi Ishanten. Chitoi Tanyao Ishanten, as a matter of fact. But the Forso draw, kind of weird with that.
Still hedging the Chitoi here.
What do you discard if you draw 6 pin?
Yeah, I was just trying to compute if Yanpeko was likely or viable here.
Ugh. Not
You-
the 5, so you already dropped one of those.
6 is probably not bad to keep. But
But what do you toss?
Yeah.
Is the question.
you'd have to throw one of your pairs or out of the 2-3-4 shape. Or even the 5-7.
That is now. I will say, Nathaniel, you just described literally every other tile in the hand.
Yeah, I actually have no idea. And you know what? If that is the case, I probably just throw the 6 back because I can't decide on an alternate discard.
I don't want to lose my time right now. I need it later.
Exactly. All right, we see a Dora drawn, and that means Jensen might push for the Chitoi Dora 2. We saw one in Jess's hand, still there. Oh, that's Tempai now.
That is Tempai.
Dama.
Chitoi Dora 2 Dama.
6,400 right now, unless just doing the good old one turn wait.
Gee.
We saw June.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Wait for Dorotanki!
Yeah, it's gonna be a Dorotanki play. I love this from Jessa. Your dealer, so that's 5,800.
Competing possible Dorotanki. I mean, that's also Itsu though. So like, this is Ishanten.
Right. And that's what's so important is you're calling with a value. There is a plan here. It's not just random calling. And still 2 Dora in the well to be drawn.
This 3 pin comes. No, the 3 pin wouldn't come out. There's nothing. And no. Links wouldn't discard a helpful tile here.
Yeah, it's awkward. This hand might just turn into Tanyao, but you kind of wish you had the 2-4 back to make a 2-3-4 Sanchoku.
Really committing to the Dorotanki here for Jessa.
Absolutely.
Ew.
Yeah, technically the 2 pin is more efficient of a discard there. But at this late stage, might just be playing for safety. There's a draw. That's Tempai.
That is a draw.
1
Oh, chooses the Hellweight 3 pin.
G.
Hellweight Suji 3 pin. Now we have double Dorotanki. Could we see double Dorotanki deal in from Lynx who cannot play defense?
The final 3 pin is in Toyman's hand.
That's a 3-sided weight.
Oh, no. The value. Think of the value.
The value, though. The value.
Yeah, you're going from 5,800 to what, 1,500?
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Well, and it'd be Atazuke.
And could you really wait, drop the tune that you haven't seen at all this late? I think this is
No.
absolutely the right play. Oh, there's a
It's really
Dora.
just- Oh, no, Steven. No, don't do it. Steven, no. Okay,
Good.
good job. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, Steven knows what's up. This Dora's too dangerous to drop. And yeah, folding very cleanly. Oh, there's a Sumo! 3 draws left.
The Dorotanki!
2,000 all, plus the Ricci stick. So Jessa starting off strong here. And a nice high pie. There's a Haku pair. You know, maybe some dragon shenanigans. Except we see the Hatsu is pretty much dead. So nothing fancy. Just maybe a call and go type hand. Oh, more Pinzu drawn though. Jessa might be thinking about Honitsu. To the right, that definitely looks like a Kongo. No value, and you have the Hatsu, so you just want to end this thing. Across the table, that has an East Onko already. There is Mon Honitsu thoughts, but you already have the 5-6 shape, so it's more likely to be just a standard Ricci, as well as the fact that you've got a Dora 2 so that you'd like to build around. So maybe we'll scratch the thoughts of Honitsu. And then on the left, Lynx has a very
ポン
average starting hand. And nothing fancy happening there. Jessa with an early call. We'll press forward. Ishanten already. He needs a 2-mon and a 7-mon.
G.
Jessa going Atozuke waiting for the Haku here. So also attempting to speed up the hand.
And they're all still on the wall. What's interesting is trying to find the pair after you get that. Like, once you get the Haku, you'll have a chunky
Gee.
weight.
Right.
But if you want to end up on, if you want to get your Otsutsuki Tenpai, you need to draw into the pair somehow, which is not easy at the moment.
Yeah, I almost. Oh, I guess the one so is close to door. That's a little awkward. Ooh, no con.
No, Steven. Okay, Tumon will deal into Jensen here.
Yes. And we know there are 3 in the wall. Steven Ishanten here. Ideal draw, I think, is just pairing up the Dora here. And I think the remaining Dora are all in the wall as well. Jessa unable to find a pair or a Haku.
Ooh. Okay, no pawn from Lynx. I was kind of wondering if Lynx would pawn that and go for the open Tanyao, but doesn't. I mean, this is Tenpai, but it's not one with a Yaku. Oop, there's the
There's a
Sumo.
Sumo. Yeah, Jessa actually had a route to using the Haku as a pair. The 2-3-4 Sanshoku was doable. Just needed to draw the 2-pin and then get the Chuso. But instead, the Sumo comes into play. Jensen will take the cheap win and move things forward.
There's a lot going on around the table this time. On the left, just real quick.
Yeah.
Two easts and 2 souths across the table. 2 Haku on the right. 7-8-9 Sanshoku already just like pretty well formed in hand.
Nice reads. And yeah, dealer hand is very normal here. So we saw the Haku call already from Lynx. Pair of Dora in hand as well. That's 3,900 minimum. And dealer's hand keeps progressing in a pair sort of way, but still likely to end up as a normal hand. 3-4-5 Sanshoku possible.
Yeah, this is what, like, when you draw the 4-pin, what's your discard? Like that's always an awkward one for me. Like, do you discard 7 so?
4-pin. I think you could just throw the 5-pin. I don't think you have to commit to Chichoi here because you're then Ishanten for a 3-sided weight. Potentially.
No, that's true. Well, I guess you could toss the
okay,
5
so we'll
on
see
as
it
well.
here.
There's 4-pin.
Oh, just goes the
Tosses
Tanya
9-pin.
route. I think this is
Okay.
a little inefficient.
It's inefficient, but it's certainly the highest valued, I think.
Right, you can make Tanya out of
I
it.
mean-
Build towards the
I mean, you can get
Sanshoku.
Tanya. You can also get Rion Peiko here, and that's
Well.
what I was kind of thinking. Like, if you toss
Home.
7 so, you're kind of pushing that inwards to the 3-4-5, 3-4-5. There's a 6.
All right, Ishanten for Yanpeiko. Will we see it? Meanwhile, Jessa has paired up the Chun and called the South. So this looks like a Toy now?
Yep, another Toy. Toys only this broadcast.
If she
Home.
does choose Toy, might end up discarding the 1-3, and the 3 would be a tile that Lynx would be extremely pleased to call. Even though it would lose the pair.
Do you start by tossing the 1-mon and hope you pair up the 3-mon? No.
Doesn't
it's
want
just-
Toy.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
says
keep the door instead. The
Two-
door does look dangerous.
Yeah. So this will just be Chun, unless the East comes out. Chudora 1. There's still Ishanten, of course. We saw Tenpai across the way for Lynx, who managed to pull in the 6-mon, and now is waiting on the 8-mon for Hakudora 2.
2 more of those in the wall.
That is Tenpai for Jensen, not the Yanpeiko.
I mean, you could toss. I mean, there's only
Yeet.
2 4-pins left visible. You could toss the 7 so and be Dama.
Yeah.
If you really wanted, but it's just gonna take the Ricci. So that's Ricci, Tanyao, Ipeiko.
And just
Now we have
feels
Tenpai
like
on the
this
left.
is worth fighting. A 6 so feels a little
Hellway.
dangerous.
Tumon Hellweight as well, because we see 1 is the Dora indicator tile and 2 discarded. The other one's in the wall.
We've seen just make Walrus
there's
before,
the
but
4-pin.
that is dangerous.
Wrong.
Reach
Ricci,
Peiko Tanya, and no Ura, but 77 is still going to be pretty expensive, and that will actually change flip-flop spots. So Jensen now first place with 37-1. What hand looks amazing here? I'm not seeing anything particularly fancy. One with pretty average starting hands. Steven has just paired up the south to the right. We're only in east too. So that's just one pawn.
That the only Dora in hand as well. Oh, but gets the Dora pair now.
Okay, well, all of a sudden I see a sparkly hand. Yeah, definitely.
Very quickly it became so.
Definitely the most expensive hand at the table, and probably the fastest too, except for that draw helps push Jensen forward quite a bit. I wonder if Steven's also pushing for Chant on top of this. With that five mon discard sort of makes me wonder.
That was a nice pool for Jessa. Now has a shot at Ipeko in the lower Pinzu.
Yeah.
Could also get Junchan.
봄.
It would take a bit. It would take a couple draws.
Yeah,
Missing the pair would be the hard part right now.
You'd probably have to draw the 9 mon first. Yeah, that 5 isn't really doing much for that hand, so you toss that away and all of a sudden it does look like a Junchan. Jessa does like Tanya though.
Oh, that 9-pin's nice.
Yeah, there we go. I
Gee.
wonder if Jensen starts to call and speed things along. Takes a headless
Does.
Ishant then.
Ooh, now you could.
Yeah,
If you really wanted to force a Junchan, you could have kept that 9-pin and tossed away an 8-mon.
right. This works too.
But now you don't have to. This is better. Now you definitely toss an 8-mon,
Oh.
don't you? No.
2 1-mon are cut, but I do prefer the 8-mon cut.
I mean, you can always still wait Rionman and just have Junchan be your Takame, your highest valued win.
Yaman feels good. Also 2 1-pin cuts, so it's kind of hard to make happen, but I think I like going for it regardless. Still Ishant for Jensen.
Yeah, and 2 Shanten still for Steven on the right. Just can't get another pawn to get this massive Toy Dora 3 1 or 2 Yaku high.
Well, here's the south. Do you drop the 9 after calling or the 1? Oh,
I mean, the 16 doesn't do. You already dropped the 5.
Yeah. Good call. Just holding onto the south. Hasn't seen it come out yet. And the call of the 1 so makes it seem a little suspicious. Well, here it is now.
6-0, 9-0 Tempai for Lynx. Tanyao on the 6-0 and
Gee.
Ipeko. So Tanyao, Ipeko on the 6-0. 9-0 is no Yaku. So
Oh.
Atazuke.
There's the Dora.
So the 9-mon's gonna deal in though.
It doesn't.
Oh, but it's not.
It just doesn't have a Yaku.
No Yaku. No.
And that means this Toy hand is massive. Toy South, Hatsu Dora 3? Hanemon. Oh, that's a Tsumo that can't win. Alright, the 9 comes out. That's a good play.
But if I feel like is it? I mean, you still can't win.
Yeah, but you have to
Why
play
not
safe.
toss the 8-mon? Because then if you draw another 9-mon, you can do this, and now a 7-mon would win it for you.
Oh, okay,
mean,
I see your play. Well, I'm just concerned about the big hand across the table. We know the 9 is safe.
That's true. And you do see the Dora.
I wonder if the 8, since you see 3 of them, it would have to be a Tonki weight at this point. Yeah, it would have. Oh, there's still one more 9-mon left, so it could have been a 7-9 shape, but.
Jensen could have tossed the 2-so there.
스모.
Oh, there's an 8-so though, so that's gonna be Sanako Tanyao
Oh my goodness.
across the way.
Lynx does it again. So many massive hands at this table.
Yeah,
And-
Jensen not tossing the 2-so and taking the 3-sided weight wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it does not matter at all.
Lynx just sumos it anyway.
Steven is really pushing hard for the hand. Didn't come together in the end. As dealer, though, can string some rounds together. We'll need to fill in a couple Penchan / Kanchan shapes to do that. No Dora either. The hand to the right is in a similar position where it's got shapes, but none of them are very good. And no Dora. Across the table, awkward as well. Nothing looks good here. Yeah, everyone is just playing a draw tiles and see what you can construct here type of game plan. A dealer making some progress. Still really needs to draw a door before this hand becomes amazing.
I can't believe we're only in East 3. Maybe it's because this is our second Hanchan with this table, but just so much feels like it's happening. It feels like we're so much deeper in the game than that. But really, everything's close. Like, it's East 3. This is just kind of we're just at the beginning of a hand. Like, this isn't... There's so much more to go.
Yeah, right? I mean, have been so many wild hands. It feels like we're in South Round or something, and we're counting points and making placement-based decisions. But really, it's just been some crazy action. Now, with the East pair across the table, Jessa can at least call, but the value still isn't there. Right now, Lynx looks to be moving towards Tanya, but I know what's going to end up happening is somehow going to draw into a Sananko again and win another Mongon. It's going to be ridiculous.
Okay. It's wild that now this, like, our first player Ishanten is not Ishanten until turn 8. Like, everybody was still 2 Shanten turn 7, like, all the way through. Which is pretty abnormal. There's a Dora. And there's a very nice draw for Steven. Now we've got a really good Ishanten there.
Yeah, interesting dropping from the 2-3 shape, but that's because it's 3d10.
Right.
Normally you would use that shape because it can incorporate the Dora. Alright, yeah, this dealer hand, now it looks good.
Chi.
Taking the Chi, going Atazuke, waiting 5 mon east. Can't win on the 5 mon, can win on the east. Oh, and there it is.
Dum.
Gonna immediately get it.
East door 1. Push just a little bit further in third.
7 pin Dora.
One in dealer's hand, but so many lone honor tiles.
And those honor tiles are paired up elsewhere. We see 2 Hatsu on the right for Jessa and 2 Chun across the table for Jinsen.
Yeah, those hands look much closer to completion, and even the hand on the left looks quite good for Tanya. In fact, yeah, that's Ishanten already. Still Ishanten. Could build into a 4-5-6 Sanshoku on top of everything.
Would you have tossed the Tuso as well there from Steven's hand on the left?
I'm sure you're looking at the possibility of dropping the 7-so for the 2-4-6 shape.
Yeah.
I think I would lean towards the Yonkan there. But no, this gives you the 8 as well. Pinfu chances. Yeah, I think this is fine. Because
no, I didn't think it was a mistake. I was just wondering.
Yeah. I love me some Yonkan shapes. But this way, it still gives you the 4-5-6 chance for that Sanshoku. But also, your ending weight, no matter what you draw, is going to be Yamen. So you're guaranteeing yourself the Pinfu.
That is helpful. Could take the San Minchan here.
Yeah.
It does.
So this way, you aren't guaranteed the Tanyao, but I think the tile acceptance is just so strong.
Especially since you're having to race Jessa across the table, who is already called.
Right. Oh, perfect draw
There's
anyway.
Tenpai.
Now, do you take the Sanshoku?
That's a very good Tenpai as well. Could have called Ricci on the 7-so, waiting on the 5 to confirm Tanyao Sanshoku, but doesn't. Instead takes Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao, waiting on 5-so, 8-so. There's the last 8-so, and there's 2 5-so left on the wall.
If not,
Jensen's
now,
really
yeah.
thinking here.
Dong.
Yeah, that 8-so looked bad.
Nothing without just folding. Oh, and there's Uda as well. Oh wait, Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora? No Dora. So there
Yeah.
was Ura.
Richie, Pinfu, Tanya, Ura. Yeah.
Make it a Mongon. Nice.
God, and look at Lynx. Lynx again, like just ready to call everything here. All of those are Yakuhai. South Yakuhai, North Yakuhai, Haku Yakuhai.
Looks like we'll be moving towards Honitsu then. Let's make it Honitsu Chanta. Why not?
Why not? Honitsu Honroto.
Yeah.
Because it's gotta be all triples, obviously, since it's Lynx.
Exactly. Yeah, no one else. Okay, the hand to the right. That is the other hand. That's wow,
Oh, and it
perfect
gets
draw.
got Tenpai! What a
Yeesh.
draw! 5-so Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, not Tanya, there's one Mon. Ricci, Pinfu, possibly Peiko on the 5-pin. I don't know how on earth, like, if I drew Lynx's hand, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm gonna be first in Tenpai, no doubt. But we have Steven across the way just, like, greedily holding on to those Yakuhai tiles. Jessa also. And then you have a turn 4 Ricci from Jensen, like, people just getting in the way here.
And I was wondering, if there's any world where you wait to try to draw the 7, so for guaranteed Sanchoku as well. But I think early reach is absolutely fine here.
I feel like that would kind of be based on your position.
Right.
Jensen, I think, is just kind of playing normally here. Just needs 3 first places, needs 3 big first places to climb up. So, you don't just play normal. If you get one good first, maybe then you start pushing for it. But other than that, just, play Mahjong, see what happens.
And even as Jessa starts to discard some of these tiles, the Haku is the last to go. Might be leaving here. Oh, nice play. Drops the 7, so dodges a deal in. And now the 4 is Nakasuji, as well as the 9-pin being Genbutsu. So finding a route to safety here.
Oh, Steven, though. Okay. Two Souths for Steven.
That almost makes them look safer, though.
It does. That is the issue. The East, though, is much better. Where are the 5-pin and 8-pin? Well, all the 8-pin, I guess, are in Lynx's hand. Not all of them. There's one more.
Only one 5-pin left in the wall, actually, so the weight's not very good, despite being an early Yuanmen. It just feels like at any moment, Jessa or Steven will drop a South or a Haku.
There's still one 5-pin and one 8-pin in the wall somewhere. There's only 10 tiles left.
Save
It's
tiles.
1/12 of the tiles we can't see.
Yeah, save tiles now.
There's an 8-pin.
Four
There's
more
a
also
4-pin.
safe for Steven.
Ooh.
We've seen Link's Greed for Toy Toy, and it's the same suit as well. Oh, he's breaking it up.
No! Does it again! Now I bet the Haku comes
Right.
out. Oh no, well the 3
They're
Peter's
safe
safe,
now.
so I don't need to. Would have just been a meme at this point.
Oh,
But there's the
Sumo.
5-pin!
Oh my goodness, the
One.
last 5-pin.
One tile away from being high-tech, but gets the Ricci Sumo Pinfui Peiko for 1,300, 2,600. Nice 5,200 gain for Jensen. Getting over 30k.
Talk about betraying, your expectations. That hand, absolutely everything that I expected to happen, none of it happened. Outside of the first pull.
Right? Like that was entirely expected. Lynx just refuses to go for anything other than Toy Toy, I think. It's working out. That is not shade at all. It is just fantastic. And now we have a pair of the pair of the Shah, a pair of the West. But that hand very unlikely to be Toy Toy. We do have a Chun call on the right for Steven.
Toyman has the ability to call the Shah, I think, as you mentioned. The Dora is in the hand to the left and the dealer's hand.
This game's so tight still. South 2 and 7,600 points separating Jessa in last place and Lynx in first.
Yeah, with all the wild hands. This happened in the first game as well. We got to South 2 or South 3. We're like, this is actually close. Jessa now early Ricci. Ricci Dora 1 waiting on the 2 Mon, with 2 of those tiles left in the wall. Oh, there's the backfire. Would have been painful.
This is our second turn
Oh.
for Ricci in a row.
Yeah, I think you're right. And well, looks like Jensen's not afraid to push against this. Oh, Tempai to the right as
Jensen
well.
has to. Jensen
No.
absolutely has to push, and Link's gonna deal in here. Shouldn't be worth a ton. Ricci Dora, any Ura? Ooh,
Ooh.
one Ura, that hurts. That's
Yeah,
gonna
that
drop
is-
Link below 30k.
That only
And
draws
in
us closer.
South place, there's less than 3 in South 4. There are
South
less
3.
than 3,000 points separating last place and first. 2,800 to be exact.
So what I'm seeing is Lynx needs to now win a one-on hand off of Jessa. Make things real exciting going into South 4.
Right. Well, and Jessa would love to take first here. This would be a fantastic first, no matter
Absolutely.
how thin it is. First place would get Jessa into the promotion range.
And that West draw is great. Now you can call, open your hand for 2,000.
Dora is 8-peen. Jessa already has one in hand, but there are 2 in Lynx's hand on the right. God, Lynx, a
Oh.
fantastic Honitsu there. But both of the tune are gone.
Oh, that is awkward.
Pump.
South call
There's a
from
South
Jensen.
Pole for Jensen.
Yep, 1,000 points is has the door, so not just 1,000. That will be enough to claim first place.
Could also switch to Honitsu.
That's true.
I mean, it's hard with Dora, but ooh, what a draw. Ishan 10 for Steven. Perfect Ishan 10, as a matter of fact.
Everyone making moves here as we enter the second row.
Ooh, 5-p.
Oh, that's so good. Now you can drop the 7 mon.
Yeah, I would have dropped the 7 mon as well. Because like the 6-peen feels nice. You're like, ooh, I want to secure this on Minchon. But now that 7 mon is a pretty
Gee.
useless tile to you.
There
because
is
the
a
8 mon
benefit.
has to be your pair.
Of this, and that is if you draw 7 pin, you can choose to wait on the 567 Sanchoku.
That's true. You could discard 4 mon. I don't know if you're Steven though. I don't think you need that so much.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you'd
as
rather
dealer,
take the tile acceptance. How clutch would drawing the 6 mon be right here?
that would be absolutely incredible. Lynx has called a Chi, which I feel like is a fundamental betrayal of what we have come to expect. We now have the 17 Tenpai for Jensen.
Everyone wants the 7 pin.
Right, everyone wants the 7-peen. No one will discard it. There are 3 left in the wall, so only 3 people get it.
Pon.
Pawn?
Just going Otozuke. There's a 6. I think you might have to call at this point.
You
Gee.
could. I mean, you
Oh,
can.
ooh, you call the other way.
Oh, right. Why? Oh, yeah. That really should be 567 Chi, I think, there. But I mean, it's easy to miss the Sanshoku
Yeah.
in the middle of all this other madness. So now you're waiting on 4-peen,
Oh.
7-peen. Either way, it's just Tanya. Now we have. Oh, that's not quite Tenpai across the way for Jessa.
Ishanten though. And that is
Oh,
the
that
West.
now we're Tenpai, and Tumon will be the weight, and that's
Ooh, doesn't want to
Oh.
drop Dora though.
yeah. You're right. Would have to drop the 8-peen. Also, there would only be 1 Tumon left. It would be a hell weight.
Yeah, Jessa
Yeah,
is
fully-
locked on being able to use this door in hand. Oh, could
Ooh,
switch
this is
the
interesting.
weight. You
Could
have a
take Nobiton weight. Yeah, 3-peen, 6-peen, waiting for a pair.
Oh, there's a 7 that's gonna deal in though.
Wow.
Oh, wait,
No,
is
it
this...
won't. The 3-peen. Wait.
There's a 6 chi from earlier.
Oh my God, you're
I missed
right.
that. I missed that too.
It's Furitin. Oh boy.
Oh, there's a 7. Okay. Well,
You can switch. You can switch now. 4-peen, 7-peen is fine, right?
yeah, it's just it's so unfortunate. Yeah, it's hard to
It's
miss.
a hell.
It's
the,
not.
the Tumon was actually dead. It was not a hell weight. The Tumon's totally dead.
Should mention Jensen has drawn into the Uncle of the Three, so is now winning Dora Tonki.
I mean, Natch.
But there are none left.
Ooh, now you could toss the 8-peen and have the Nobiton weight. Doesn't do it.
But the value wouldn't be enough. That would just be a tie unless you sumo or hit Jessa, which it might be worth going for. Okan,
Kang.
and now you can switch Oh, that was the
No,
last draw.
I mean, you're just saying you
That's the
just
last draw.
hop on and kill everything. And now we have a tie for first at 31-7.
Wow, this final hand, the whole table has been just crazy all throughout. Ipeko almost drawn for Steven right now. Just needs a 7-pin. And
I mean, could also think about Chanta here.
yeah, Link's thinking a bit about that Dora call. Very tempting to call for, especially since it looks like you're making Honitsu here. We'll call the Hatsu.
The problem is, if you take the Dorachi, you can't get Toy Toy.
That's very true.
Could even get Chanta Honitsu here.
It's entirely possible, and wow, excellent draws all the way around. Jessa just filled a Penchon, and can also call for the West. And on the left, very nice shapes for Jensen, who just needs any hand to steal first away.
Another 1-mon.
Yeah, 1-1-2, 1-1-2 is awkward because in order to maintain those shapes, you have to drop the nice floating 5-mon.
And does, but has the Ryanman 5-6. You could chi this if you really wanted to push the G.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you do that. With 2 7s being discarded and 1 in hand, Steven realizes that the Ipeko is very unlikely. It actually discards away from it.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost why you would take the chi, though.
Right.
Just that you have a hand.
But then you have to throw away the 5-6 shape and like redraw. It's very awkward.
And it does start to look like a Honitsu on the right in the Dora suit, so that 5-6 discard's going to look horrible.
The Otozuka again for Jessa. Needs the West. Last round, it came late in the round. This round, it's not coming because Lynx has it paired up.
Yeah, and with the Honitsu, can use it.
Each.
There's a Ricci. 4-peen, 1-so Champon. 1-so tied up in Lynx's hand. 4-peen totally live.
Yeah, only 1 across the table in Jessa's hand, so just 1 4-pin in the wall.
Ricci Nomi.
But that's enough. Let's see, who dropped Dora early? That was the dealer. Yeah, the nice Nakasuji trap, though. And Jessa has shown the willingness to push, especially in this type of situation where there's some clear incentive to steal his hand away.
Chi.
Ishanten now for Steven.
Oh, that's... Yeah. Headless. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that's awkward.
Safe.
Yeah. So it looks
and so
like
is 4-mon.
it looks like a safety play against the reach.
That's Tenpai. Can discard the 4-mon, still safe. 3-peen. No Yaku.
3-pin is definitely dead. Probably a better discard there.
I mean, yeah. The 4-mon is 100% safe, though.
Right. I forgot the Ricci was on the left. I was looking at the hand on the right. So the 2...
That's nice. That was a nice little shift.
Switches the 4-pin.
Again, like a safety play, really. The 5-so is safe as well, because that was discarded by Jessa. Where are the other 4-peen? There's one somewhere.
Home.
Oh, the West comes out from Jessa, and that will give Lynx Tenpai.
1-so, 4-so. 1-so obviously cannot come out. There is 1 4-so left on the wall. Could have actually switched to pay Tanki there, just for fun. Would have been pointless, but could have.
5-pin also Nakasuji, good play. And 3 players Tenpai.
Nice little dancing around there. Because of the Ricci stick, that actually puts Steven in first.
Yeah,
that dropped Jensen 1,000 points.
And Steven can call pretty quickly to try to snatch that Ricci stick plus grab the 2 Homba. There's a Chun pair. Actually, 3
Lynx
pairs.
Could as well, though.
Oh, yeah. Lynx gets the first chance to call. Haku is grabbed. This does not have a lot of value, so you'll be computing the hundreds. Right now, 1,000 plus the 1,600 will be enough to move over 30k.
Otozuke for Steven.
Yeah, pretty clear Atozuke unless the 6 so comes out. Like right now, players are probably suspecting a Yakuhai is necessary here. But if you call the 6 so, all of a sudden it looks like potentially Itsu. And so throw some question marks.
Chi.
Tempai though for
All right,
Lynx.
fine. Could have gone Dora Sanso Tanki there. Doesn't believe in it. Did you know that if you throw away a Dora Sanso open Tanki, that the next day, like someone will drive
Gee.
through a mud puddle and splash it on you?
I was not aware.
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons that you really shouldn't throw those away. Even though the 3-peen, 6-peen's a better weight, you don't want to get all wet and gross.
Yeah, thinking about this as a value play though, that would have been enough for first. Like guaranteed
Oh,
first.
absolutely.
So, yeah, interesting. Now, I don't know if positionally Lynx might not need to be that aggressive. Yeah, they don't, given the result from the last game. So,
Right. Their leap from
Right.
13th to 5th. The 3-peen's gonna come out though and deal in here. That's gonna be a pretty huge roll and gets the 2600 thanks to the stuff in the middle.
yeah, South 4. All right, everybody's checking the scoreboard,
Oh my god.
computing what it takes to grab first. For most of the players here, it just involves winning 1,000 points.
I mean, here's what's fantastic though. You're Jessa in last place, only person below 30k. Mongon Sumo would be first place, only person above 30k.
Oh, that's crazy. So we'll see Jessa trying to make that play. That's actually insane how you can be the only person below to the only person above in one hand.
Yeah. And not an unachievable one. It doesn't take a Bimon or anything
Right.
ridiculous. Like Mongon is not impossible.
We see the true call from Steven, who is intent on preventing that from happening. Pretty close to doing so, in fact, Ishanten already.
A very callable Ishanten too.
Absolutely. Toyman's hand looks kind of interesting. Chance at the 2-3-4 soundtrack, where you really don't need. Well, I guess Jensen might need be seeking a little bit more value here, but
Overall, yeah.
Gee.
well, I don't think this is going to be a Mongon anymore unless we get 3
No.
consecutive Dora draws. And they don't have to
And
be
I-
consecutive. They could be, shifted.
Yeah, they could. I mean, it could just 3 Dora draws eventually, and never a Dora discard,
Right.
and also never anybody else winning.
That's
And
not
there's
too
another
much to ask for.
Con. I always wonder about this. Do you keep the Ryoncon, or do you keep 3 pairs and a Kanchan?
Yeah, so there's 2 things at play here. One is what you think you can call. Keeping the pair allows you to call from more players at the table. But also what your final shape is going to be after you call. And it's likely going to be shampoo and weight. I suppose if you call one of the pin tiles, then you could end up on the 6-mon Kanchan.
We do have 5-peen, 8-peen Dama from Jensen.
Okay,
That
so
would, of course, secure first.
just content to end this thing in first place. Oh, just Sumo.
There it is! Sumo!
Eh?
Sumo.
Sumo Bitfu. That's going to be a first place. And it is enough to drop Lynx below 30k as well.
Okay, so Lynx will join Jessa there, meaning Jessa will not take as big of a hit as otherwise.
So an incredibly, incredibly tight game.
Absolutely. Jensen with a positive 18.2. Steven came in second, plus 5.7, so back on the climb with 2 games remaining. Lynx in third and takes a negative 5.2, which is totally fine. Still in pretty comfortable promotion position. And Jessa takes a bit of a hit here, but still within striking distance.
Yeah, Jessa won first away, really, from promotion range. Well, I guess not a first like this. One more normal first away from promotion range. But still has some work to do. Steven, at this point, needs 2 rather large firsts.
Yes. Yeah, really, I'm going to be quite interested to see if Yuanxi can maintain this current position, if they can continue to find Baimons in Pin Honitsu Toy Toys, and whether Jessa can make that play to promotion as well.
Do we know if they are playing more games tonight? I like usually groups tend to play two, especially evening.
I believe they are just playing the 2 games, so that might actually be the final one.
All right. There are also a B1 game just started. I don't know how you're feeling,
Well, it looks like that's actually been going for a while and actually might be close to finishing.
but then there'll be one more after that.
Yeah, I can go either way.
Yeah, I'd love to. This game will tell me a lot about how safe I should feel
Ah,
in my
B1, that's your
in my
division.
own life.
So,
Also, I'm really curious to see if Andrew can climb out of this hole that he started in. He was in like last place overall in B1, and his first two Hanchan were absolutely ridiculous with like Baimons and Hanumans all over the place. One a Yakuman to get up into like to get to where it was actually possible to climb out. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But B3, which we just watched, not many games left there actually. Despite having many more people, a lot more of those Hanchan have been played than anywhere else. So
right, yeah, pretty close to finishing. I'll switch the standings to B1 so you can take a look at what's happening there and prepare us for hopping into that game. Let's see.
I still love the stats in B3. Like the fact that there are way more people in B3, but yet the deal-in percentage is so far lower. Like that is absolutely incredible.
So many people, it doesn't even fit on our screen.
Right. It doesn't even come close to fitting on our screen.
No,
22 out of 36 is not much of a rate there.
All right, so those stats should be updating, and you should be able to see B1 now. And let's go ahead and try to find that matchup. So
Yeah, so
it's
the people in the game. So Andrew here, trying to get out of demotion, needs to get past Ada. So needs to get about 60 points, a little bit less, but around there. Andres is pretty well off in promotion range, although 2/4 could easily drop him out. Luke similarly, Luke is right in the middle. If Luke loses a lot, that could be danger. Oh, we already have someone Tempai in South 4 here.
yeah, it's the
4
dealer
mon, 7 mon, Ricci for dealer. And that is Andres with that weight.
who desperately needs these points. I mean, from 7,700.
リーチ
Oh, we see a chase.
Ooh, a chase from Luke. 3 mon. And that's a Suji trap. But the 3 mon does not look safe against dealer, so. Oh, well. No, it does not. It does not look safe against dealer. It is not Suji. Those tiles were not discarded at the right time. But Luke, I don't know. This is so fascinating pushing against dealer here. Because if you deal in and swap positions, you went from being in an okay spot to like being in danger of promoting. Or being in danger of demoting, I should say.
And what's scary is you're just on a 3-mon Penchon. You can't see any of the Dora. And you certainly aren't holding them yourself. It's just a Richinomi. So very aggressive. Well, there's a Dora, but it passes.
Philip here in second, more than willing to discard these Haku, very safe. Philip in an all right position for promoting. This game would, yeah. This game would put Philip into the promotion zone.
Currently plus 13.6. Should it end right here?
So a lot at stake for everyone here, as things currently are. And that's just going to be Tempai for all around.
Yeah,
That 9-so really waiting to come out of Luke's hand, though.
It's almost like we've frozen.
It's almost like we've frozen, but it's just Luke staring at that 9-so saying, all right, what kind of thumb rubbing would it take to turn this into a 3-mon?
Well, we know he's Ricci, so he should have had that tile discard already. I'm guessing it's actually a Tenho freeze.
Does Tenho let you like put the 9-so in the middle of the 6-so, like turn the other two around and call Khan on it?
I very much doubt that. We'll go ahead and throw a refresh in and see if that fixes it. We'll see if the game is ended by the time we come back. No, we're still here. Oh, we're still stuck on that Niso discard. So
Maybe everyone's stuck here.
yeah, I think
Korak has suggested someone disconnected.
okay, that's possible. I have seen this happen once before. I had the same situation, a tile frozen in a player's hand, and in fact, everyone at the table saw that. Everyone was frozen in the same moment, and whenever we refreshed, we came back to the position where the tile was drawn, and nothing happened. So, no.
I do love the idea of being stuck here, though, and everyone just being like, "What's happening?
Is
it a sumo or
is
not?
it a con?
Tell me."
Did somehow the con button appear, even though it technically can't because this is Haite, and he somehow is able to call the con, which caused Tenho to crash, and oh yeah, there was a disconnect. Okay, Philip disconnected.
All right, there it is. All right, so we have a repeat here. There's actually 2,600 in the middle.
I'm gonna go back to the dealer's perspective. Hopefully oh yeah, we zoom forward into the future. 4 discards in now.
South is Dora, which there is one of in Luke's hand. That Anko of Tuso making a Chanta or Junchan kind of awkward. That 8-mon draw helps, though.
And Luke definitely aware of the possibilities. One of the players with the widest variety of Yaku from the Yaku list 1. Definitely.
Possible Itsu for Andrew across the table.
Yeah, Itsu in
And
the
possible
Bonsu.
Chitoy on the left. Oh, that's actually Chitoy Ishanten for Philip on the left.
Yeah, we've frozen again, so perhaps another disconnect. I'm trying to decide, compute whether Luke can call for Sanshoku Door 2 here. Sanshoku Chanta Door 2, and the answer is yes. Yes, that's definitely enough.
Oop.
Back into the action. Here's a Dora, and Andres will retain this. Did have one spare tile to throw out without losing any efficiency. Oh, and it's paired up immediately, and that's why you save it.
That's huge for Andres. Andres really needs that value. 2 Shanten now with that. Do you go on to Zuke?
I'm not sure I go Atozuke because I've got good shapes to declare Richi Door 2.
1
Ooh.
There's Chitoy.
Oh,
waiting
no.
on the shot. Oh, and it immediately
Don't.
comes into Andres'
Oh,
hand. Who's
that's
going
so-
to deal in? Is this going to put Philip into first with
We'll
the
see the
Ipatsu?
Ura?
Not quite.
Yeah, just
800
barely short. Yeah, with Ura, that definitely would have made it there. And Andrew, Octavia, takes the first place, plus 31.9.
Oh,
Philip
God,
second,
that's
plus
incredible.
21. Luke with a negative 10, and Andres negative 42 as a result. Let's get that scores updated.
That is legitimately the most exciting possible placement for the final Hanchan.
Absolutely.
Andres now in danger of falling out of promotion. Philip has gotten up but cannot afford a big fourth. Luke is now in danger of demoting, and Andrew, despite it being at like minus freaking 180 before this session began, is now like, especially if Andrew's able to directly overcome Luke, that would be enough.
Yeah.
The only issue being so many people in P1 haven't played yet. Like, neither Ada nor Josh have played any of their Hanchan, or Peter for that matter. And so, like, a lot can still change, but even having the chance to get out of demotion is insane here. Like, literally every single person at this table is playing for something, and that is the first time we have seen that yet.
Are you telling me that Andrew has picked up 130 points so far in 3 games?
It is something absurd like that. Like, Andrew was in second to last place, I believe. Like, was -1 a lot. I will look this up so that we can get like a more precise data value.
Sure. In the meantime, here are the full standing screens for you to see. I'll go ahead and pull up the next game as it has already started, and we're about a minute away from actually stepping into that one. And Yeah, it would be totally insane for. I mean, we talk about this. We say anything can happen in session 6. And well, it's happening. It's happening for Andrew. Just needs one more incredible game. And for the remaining players, for Andres, for Philip, one final push to stay in the positive zone. And same for Luke. One last game to put, retain your position outside of demotion zone. Give yourself as good a shot as at staying in this division as possible.
Okay, it's only 68.8. I mean, which is still a lot.
It is, yeah.
Was it like minus 120, 130-ish?
Gotcha. And, well, I remember Andrew had gotten a Yakuman.
Oh, no. Korak says it's more, actually. I think Korak, it's plus 29.9. I thought there was one that was like a plus 7. I might have accidentally looked at Andrew R, though, because there are 2 Andrews.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe it was plus 70. Oop, I'm hearing the gong.
Now I just need to know for my own curiosity.
Go for it.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm seeing.
Oh God, 2 disconnects? What?
I don't actually know what's going on. It might. Oh, they're back. Okay.
Okay, they're back.
Maybe I'm the one who's disconnecting, and it just looks like that from my screen.
All right.
Maybe Tenho is having issues in maybe Philip and Octavia are in a similar region, and Tenho's just having connection issues there.
All right. Korak and Jeremy have both come up with similar numbers, so it is in fact like over positive 90 for Andrew this session.
Yep. You dream of the positive 100 and has a chance at doing so in this final session 6. We see a call of the Haku from Andres, who also has a pair of Hatsu in hand. No tunes, one tune discarded, but the remaining 3 in the wall. So thinking about that a little bit. Luke with a very pretty hand.
Ooh. This is a fun little rivalry match too. I know that Luke and Andrew are both a part of the same club. They both play at Hammer Girl in Rochester, I believe.
That's right. And so that adds a little bit of another dimension to it. Once you're familiar with a player's playstyle, you can make better judgments. So having that familiarity bonus.
I only see 1 tune in the discards.
Right?
I'm not saying that Andres is gonna get the other 3 tune, but
wait, look, you draw the tune, you instantly drop one of the Montiles, right? There's just no question.
Naturally.
You draw the other tune, you drop the other Montile. You pair up, 2-pin or 3-pin, and then you swap your way to Champon, and you win on the final tune.
No, here's what you do. You draw a tune, you draw the 2-pin, you drop the 2-pin, make everyone think you're Tenpai for your Honitsu to slow them down to give you more time to draw the other 2 tunes.
Now that is clever. That is
that's a great draw for Andrew. Now perfect Ishanten on the left.
You also see the Ishanten for the dealer, Ishanten for coming across the table, and Ishanten to the right. So everyone one tile away. Just some hands are more expensive than others.
Luke's Ishanten also perfect.
Perfection.
A perfect Ishanten for those, or it was. Hold on. Yeah, the 7 mon got tossed. So no longer perfect, but still a very good Ishanten here.
Ooh,
for those who don't know, a perfect Ishanten is an Ishanten where every tile that you could possibly call or draw to get to Tenpai would leave you with a Ryanman weight after.
And
which is a 2-sided weight.
Tune drawn by Luke, not willing to push it out.
Yeah, I mean, you only see 1 dropped.
It's not really a safe tile in this hand. Okay, here's Tenpai. You see the Riichi. Tune passes.
You close your eyes and call that Riichi and just listen to the Tenho sounds.
Right.
Yeah, 4-mon, actually a great being able to discard that there. Philip kind of unfortunate drawing that 8-mon. Oh, and immediately 2 8-mon drawn in a Patsu turn. Andrew, though, dealing it into Luke for the Riichi Patsu Penfu Dora 2. And a Nura for the Dealer Hanamon. The East 1 Dealer Hanamon to start out with a massive lead.
What a hand. All right. Well, all of a sudden, the perspectives around this table changed. Luke now pretty comfortable, and I don't know. There isn't a chance, is there? It would
For what?
take plus 70, something like that, in order for Luke to
Well,
move to
okay.
promotion.
So
Plus
you have
60.
to overtake Haru.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So plus
only
60.6.
and that is, when you start off in East 1 with 18,000 more points than you normally would, you sort of think maybe there's a chance.
Yeah. 30,000 more points is what it would take, assuming everyone else is below 30k.
And it has a very nice hand here as well. 2 away from Tenpai, making the shift to move towards Tanyo.
Keeping the Hatsu though, which is still live.
リーチ
Ooh, there's a pair of Haku drawn, and now we have the Richi waiting on 6mon, 9mon.
6-mon, of course, would be the Ipeco. Richi Nomi currently without the 6-mon.
2 Dora now and Andrew's hand on the left. Tuso is Suji now. I wonder if Luke is willing to push that.
You are dealer, and he is. Still needs 2 more draws. Oh, there's the
Done.
9. And yeah, just Richi Nomi.
That's perfectly fine for Philip.
Yeah, Philip will be watching that scoreline closely, just barely in the promotion zone. So currently at a negative 6.6, I believe, which is still okay. Just barely okay. But you
Korak brings up a good point that Claire and Rachel are in the same group and have not played their final 2 Hanchan yet. So Claire, Rachel, Matthew, and who is the other player in that group? Is it a
Travis?
It's Travis at the bottom. Yes. Yeah, they have not played their final 2 Hanchan yet, so it is very reasonable to expect that either Claire or Rachel could drop.
Yes. And
So you wouldn't even necessarily need to be in the top 11 at this point to promote. You could be in 12th if someone is able to drop below you.
even all the more reason to watch those scoreboards closely. And I imagine that series will be an incredibly fun one to watch. The conclusion of.
Those players are wild. They'd
Absolutely.
be so much fun.
Yeah. Quick, look at the schedule. Find out when they're playing.
Okay, fine.
Luke, in the meantime, is building towards the Ipeco in the Pinzu. And East Anko for Philip, who I think would probably be willing to open the hand here, even though it's cheap currently. I do like the idea of making reach out, because you have such good shapes everywhere. Oh, and that 5 pin is an excellent draw. Interesting not choosing the 147 pin weight here. Could think of the
Is there any world where you drop the full
Reach.
1, 2, 3 shape as well? Okay, obviously not this one. eight mon weight.
1
There's only 2 left for Andres here. But would you have considered dropping the 1, 2, 3 pin under any circumstance as Andres here?
Yeah, I definitely depends on the situation, but if you need the points, then it makes a lot of sense to go for it. The awkward thing is that to speed up your hand, you're calling the south, and that doesn't give any value to you. You know what? It might just be better to take the Ricci 8. Like, if you find Tenpai first, you just take the Ricci. There's just more value in it for you.
缶
Oh, a Khan! And
Oh.
draws the new door and discards it immediately into the Ricci. Oh, an 8 comes
No.
out! And that gave
Oh,
my
Dora!
goodness! The Khan gave 1, 2 new Dora. Gave 2 new Dora.
Oh my goodness! And now after we're only in East 2, and Andrew has exactly 0 points.
That is an achievement. I think when that happens on Tenho, a screen pops up, says achievement unlocked, and then something. Who is the player that always gets 0? I don't know.
I mean-
if you can come back from 0, you get a second achievement too.
In Tenho?
Yeah.
The
Boom.
only two achievements in Tenho are about having exactly 0 points.
First, you get down to 0 points. Then you make a first place comeback. You get the second
Boom.
achievement.
I've legitimately done it in Sanma before, but in Suma, in 4-player, it is a much heavier task. We do have Luke with 2 calls now, although, I mean, only one other block, so not really anywhere close to completing that hand.
I mean, you don't have the vision. You draw west, west, north, oh, never mind. There's the third north. I mean, the tiles were in the wall. They were just in the wrong order.
West, west, north, and then you just go to exhaustive tempi for four little wins.
At least you... Oh, Honitsu, forget that. Now we have 2 shapes. Every way I want this hand to go keeps drawing away from it.
Ishan 10 for Philip.
And again, 1 on hand, not what you want, but it's okay given the current overall standings. I mean, it's still East 2. You could fight for value if you want. But in winning a 1,000 hand, you're also preventing somebody else from winning their hand. So there's value, sort of preventative value in going for the cheap hand. Again, we're frozen, but Tenho's been doing this ever since we joined this match. So we see the Haku discard and the call from Philip.
Takes the 3-mon Tempai. That's an easily upgradable weight.
This time it's Andrew's internet connection that's failing. Ooh, second door draw. So now 3 pairs. Probably still building towards a normal hand.
Still 2 Shantan, which, with all the calling around the table, feels
Chi.
way behind. Now we have a better Tempai for Philip, taking that Chi, switching the weight from the 3-mon to the 3-mon, 6-mon.
Yeah, good vision, as always.
Yeah, a very good being able to see that Chi there. I feel like a lot of players kind of miss Chiing to improve weight.
And that is the draw that gives Andrew some options. You can think about drawing towards 789 Sanshoku, even though you've already dropped a Dora. And yeah,
Ooh.
I like that. Even though you've discarded, you might end up 3d10. I think at this point you kind of need to go for that. And there it is. Perfect.
So you drop the 1-2 shape?
Yeah, Ishanten now.
Yeah, 2-4 shape now going for Luke. That 5, 6, 7, 8 can serve as a very nice pair weight. It's called a Nobitan shape.
The Nobetan I really like as a shape. It's one of my favorite Mahjong shapes. I mean, of course, Yamen is good, but
Ryamen's boring though.
yeah, Nobetan, the more fun double-sided weight.
Ooh. 4 pairs for Andres and discards the 5-so.
That
which
is
safe against Philip on the right. Maybe is reading on the left a Pin Honitsu from Luke.
yeah, I think that's more of a defensive discard than
Yeah,
an offensive one.
Oh, there's the 3-mon, and it comes
Boom.
out.
All right, 1300 picked up. We'll move to Philip's dealership.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 distinct terminals and honors for Andres on the left.
That'll be interesting to see how he chooses to play that. Doesn't need Kokushi. Dealer's hand looks...
That is 9.
Yeah,
With
a
2
pair.
pairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we know where this hand's going now. It still could chip to Chanta.
Right, but yeah, that's the thing. That's a hand that's really hard to make the call on, because even though you have 9 distinct terminals and honors, you already have 7, 9, so 8, 9 Pin and a 7-mon. Like, it would not be wild to get, you know, the Haku Pawn and then 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku. Like, that would not be impossible, but is just drawing now.
Yeah, that's
Terminals
just
and honors.
another
You can go
pair.
forward.
And in
Yeah,
fact...
tossing south.
Okay, no
Boom.
Kokushi here. Oh, but this giving a great draw to Philip. Yishan 10 for an incredible hand. Richi Tanyao. Potentially Peiko. And I want to see Dion Peiko drawn into. Give me a 6-so. Give me a 7-so. And then give me the 4-pin.
I mean, if you get the 7-so, would you insta-Ricci 8-so?
Yeah, I would. That's why you have to get the 6 first.
Andres hedging Toy here now. Might have been watching our previous games before playing these.
I do really need to take lessons about how to make Toy, because that's just a Yaku that I forget about.
This could be an Ontonsu
Each.
wait for Philip. Discard the 9-so, so now you're waiting on 8-so, 5-mon, or 5-so.
Yeah,
A very fancy wait there.
It looks good, but the problem is for your Yamen side of things, you have all of the 8-so instead of all the 5-so. It makes this
Right.
much more difficult to complete, but I think it's fair to take the Ricci anyway.
Especially as dealer.
Yeah.
1
We'll get chased by another good hand, but the 8 comes out.
So,
So-
4-mon, 7-mon wait for Andrew. Ricci,
Yes.
Pinfu, Dora 1.
Yeah, drawing the door there was very nice for Tenpai.
Now, Andres is Ishanten on the left.
If you're wondering how a player can reach you from 0 points, we do allow players to dip into the negatives here in this league. Ooh, there's
Ooh.
Tenpai.
That ASO won't deal in.
Oh,
because it
Haku
is
will.
useful.
No.
Oh, but the Haku immediately comes out to deal into Andres. The
Wow.
Haku Chanta wins it.
The third player Tenpai wins? That's incredible.
Korak actually pointing out that could have taken a different Ricci there. Andrew could have, and would have sumoed on the 8-mon a turn earlier, I believe.
Yeah, with the 7-mon Ricci.
Yeah.
I was expecting that to come out, and then the 8 came out instead. But I think they were both reasonable choices.
I mean, look at the hand for Andres across the way again. Could be a So Honitsu, and that is the Dora suit. Is not going to force that. Might just take the Itsu instead.
Which is valid as well. Both require drawing.
It's respectable.
I wonder...
Really forcing it here, tossing the 6-so back.
Yeah, just likes the shapes elsewhere. Maybe too many pairs. But of course the 4-6 can easily shift into a different shape, just like this.
Yeah.
And wow, all the 8-pin almost in Luke's hand.
Ooh, more peen. Toss the 4-so. Maybe.
Yeah, I
no.
think not.
Oh, you well.
If you're going for the Chinitsu, then you drop the 4-so. If you're looking for the more likely Tenpai, you retain the 4-so, draw around it, use the 5-pin
Yeah.
as your pair.
Kutsuki Ishanten? In a way, in a sense, sort of.
Oh, that's Tenpai. That's huge.
Wow.
Could even be Sananko.
Each.
So this will be
Oh, guaranteed Sananko.
Oh, dang!
Dora Tonki Sananko.
I
Ricci
did expect
Tanyao.
on the Dora Taki Sananko. They have all been drawn. Holy cow! All right. So this would be Dora 2, Sananko, Ricci Tanyao. So that's a
Gee.
guaranteed Hanuman. Oh my god.
And the Ura. If there's Ura, it's likely to be wild. But the
I
door
mean,
has to
can't-
come out at this point, and it's just not going to.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. I mean, Andrew obviously has to push. Andres does not have to push. Is Tenpai waiting 5-pin and 8-pin, which 6 are in Luke's hand. 1 8-pin left in the wall, 1 5-pin in Andrew's hand. This is one of those times, like, I get the value play. I mean, Luke kind of needs it, but even you still have a valuable hand, even if you call Ricci discarding the 4-so, waiting 3-pin, 4-pin, 6-pin. Like, you can still get the Sananko that way.
Worst case, you get Ricci Tanya. Oh, there's the 8.
4
And there's the 8,
Yeah.
which it deals in across the way.
Itsudora 1. And Andres keeps stealing these Ricci sticks. Like, everyone's pushing their hands, and Andres just quietly makes a call, finds Tenpai, and steals everything away.
Possible Choi for Luke here.
Haku Uncle already.
Actually, and Cookies and Cream pointing out in the chat that no Con, that with the draws after the Ricci, there would have been Suanko Tonki
Yeah,
10
drew
5.
all 4 9-pin. Had tossed one earlier, I was thinking, oh, I should have waited on the 9-pin. You would have sumoed it, and then just drew 3 more. Yeah, crazy. In this hand,
I'm really regretting Luke not calling Con on the Haku, if I'm gonna be honest.
because you're expecting to have to open anyway, right?
Yeah, like this really feels like Toy Toy. Like you're opening. Luke needs, and like this is why you force the Sananko on the last hand. Is like you need a big win. Like we talked about, you just need to get to 12th, but even getting to 12th requires a pretty massive first place. And flipping Dora is a way to get there. This is your last dealership. We'll see what happens. This is now Ishanten.
But here's the thing. Oh, you're just not dreaming big enough. Forget Toy Toy. What about Suanko? You call the con.
Right.
You can't go for Suanko anymore.
This is
Yeet.
true.
I
now
was just Ricci.
Yeah, now you have the Ipeco chance.
Yeah, I actually, I do like the thought of being able to call con in a lot of certain circumstances. In this one, I think the shapes were good enough that I want to stay closed.
Yeah, I don't think I ever would have called con in a game personally in that specific with the 4-mon 5-mon. Like
Right.
I don't think I would have called that one. I like never diamond con, which is an open con, but it is good sometimes for Fu, which Korak often points out and is important to remember.
Yes. And well, there's actually technically Tenpai. Oh wait,
Each.
Philip tossing the 3-so there. Oh, now we have 1-so, 2-so Champon
it's
from Andrew.
only the 2-so though. The 1-so is dead at this point, or can only win on the 2-so, I should say. There's only one in the wall. But in these desperate times, maybe if the situation is desperate enough, you call con on the 9-mon instead.
Con on 9-mon, dead wall draw the 2-so, Ricci waiting on 6-mon 9-mon. No one sees it coming. There's
It
2-so.
wins. Yeah. Ricci know me, but picks up some sticks. Yeah, I don't think we're quite in those desperate times just yet, but we are in South too. Maybe it's time to start thinking about it. There is a dealership left for Andrew though, so we'll be going full aggression. Actually, it's been going full aggression the entire game, but
Yeah.
kind of is in a position where you need to.
Andres has one of the Dora Souths here, as does Luke on the left.
Okay, we'll see who can pair it up, if either of them. There is, outside of that South, looks like a pretty standard Ricci hand. And the nice thing is you're missing a pair, and that's almost a good thing because you can end up waiting on the South for Dora Tonki. The right, maybe an easy chance, but likely to just be a normal hand. Across the table, maybe you could build a Peiko in the upper Pinzu, except for the fact that there are 2 7-pin in the hand to the left. Left and Luke. Probably, again, we were saying Luke needs what, plus 60? And you get
if you, yeah,
you get
plus 60.
15 from being first place, because I don't think you're knocking Andres below 30k. So plus 15,
Nah.
which means you need to be another 45 over 30. So he needs to finish with plus 75.
So still needs 30k
Yes.
without the dealership.
3 rounds to make 30k. So Mangan, Hanuman.
Well, that's 4 wins that you just said. Mangan, Hanuman. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Just 2 Hanuman.
Right. And so, you're building to your outs, and maybe you transform this to a Tanya to get an extra Han out of it. Andre's also building to some expensive outs, thinking about the 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku here. Also can accept a 3-mon or a 4-mon to make Ipeco. So just keeping options open for value, but has to sacrifice the South to do so. However, South has been twice cut, so that the likelihood that you draw the final one is probably less than the likelihood that you get that Ipeco / Sanshoku. Oh, there's the
There it
Sanshoku
is.
chance.
And this ensures Pinfu as well.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about whether to reach or not.
リーチ
It does
I mean,
do
you
so.
have Pinfu guaranteed. I mean, I feel like Yurichi, like a Pinfu Nomi Ron would be so sad.
I think if the 2 Mon came out during a Dama, he would just pass it.
That's fair. But if you were gonna pass the Tumon coming out, well,
Because the 5 Mon coming out means you have 3 Han, so that's 5,800.
yeah. Well, I was just thinking about how that affects Ricci judgment.
True.
Good. You don't expect Andrew to throw a
Yeet.
5 Mon. Oh, there's a Ricci.
Well, Andrew, yeah, because he hasn't dropped any, but really could do
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
There's an 8.
Well, yeah. Andrew's obviously gonna push all. I just mean it looks like Andrew's using them.
Right.
4-peen, 7-peen weight though.
Yeah,
for
it's a
Andrew.
very
just the fact-
sneaky weight for Reach Pinfu Sanshoku.
Yeah, I mean, dropped 6-6-8-8,
Who-
6-6-8-8-9-3 are in Andrew's discards, waiting on 4-peen, 7-peen.
Who in the right mind would be expecting a 7-pin here?
I mean, it's kind of bonkers.
Oh, Luke has drawn 3 out of 4 7-pin. Oh, the 4 comes
There's
out.
4.
ロン
Well, I was thinking, when Andres was thinking about that Ricci judgment, what's the worst that could happen? All the Dora are out. It's doubtful that anybody could chase you with anything expensive. But Andrew proved me wrong once again. Found a way to make Mongon.
But even a Mongon deal in there isn't huge for Andres. The fact that Andrew's so far below gives Andres some room to just kind of play around with things a little bit. Like, you have points to shed, effectively. You really don't want to, but you're not in a incredibly precarious situation with the points as they stand.
Right. The player who is in the most precarious situation is actually Philip here. Because
Yes.
although Andrew is, deep in 4th, has very clear goals. Just win everything. Philip, on the other hand, has to balance wanting to win and improve the score with also not losing and dropping out of the current promotion slot. And currently, let's see, given these standings, sitting at a negative 6.3, which is, I think, still just barely okay. But if you
barely above Haru.
yeah, if you lose any more than that, then you're starting to get in trouble. So, calling this East, pushing for the hand, East Dora 1 would be 2,900. But if things start to get scary, might choose to bail. Now we're each on 10, and I think we'll just push full force.
This is going to be a little bit harder of a hand to call, though. Just because... Oh, well, that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
Now, calling's a little bit easier. You don't have to necessarily pawn 5-peen or 5-mon.
And if you do find the 6 Mon Chi possible, probably take it with the 5, 6, 7s that your resulting Shampon is a little bit better. I guess the alternate is to...
Well, they got the Champon with the 5s anyway. 5-peen, 5-mon Champon.
And if you do have this weight, there still are good Diamond Shift upgrades available.
And none of them would be Ferritin at the current moment. Possible Itsu for Andres on the left. Would take a couple draws to get there, though, given the pair situation. More likely just going to be Ricci Pinfu Dora 1.
We see only 1 5-pin in the walls, so somewhat unlikely. You're feeling a little sad about all these Sodas cards. I could have had Samenchan. Dora inclusion Samenchan is at that. And yeah, the upgrade tiles kind of running thin in the Pinzu, but still some
Gee.
Mon tiles out there. 6 Mon, 4 Mon.
2-peen, 3-peen, 5-peen weight for Luke across the table.
Fortunately for Philip, that hand is not expensive. Just 1,000 points.
Oh, there's actually only 3 tiles left in the wall for loot,
リーチ
if I've counted correctly. Oh, now we have the Ricci from Andres,
There's the up.
waiting on 5 mon, 8 mon. So Ricci Pinfu Dora 1.
Yeah, there's the upgrade,
Boom.
but it deals in. It came too
that's-
late.
That's actually worst case. That is worst case scenario
Yeah.
for Philip.
And we said
Now
Philip was
you're-
in the tenuous situation, right? Had to balance offense versus defense. And in that case, drops to -15, or almost -15.
Now 1 Mongon Sumo from Andrew is an absolute disaster. And Andrew here starting with 2 Dora, the 7 so.
Absolutely. Be interested to see how Andrew plays this. There's 3 pairs, a lot of so tiles.
What might help Philip is that Andres has such a fast hand across the way.
Yeah, Kekala South already has an Anko of the 7 mon and 3 excellent shapes. Oh, 1 shape
That's
filled
impre-
already.
Yeah, Ishanten already for Andres.
This feels like Andres' hand. Here's the South.
ポン
Poln, which tempai do you want? Chooses the
3
Kanchan.
so.
Sanzo to finish
3
it
of
off.
them. 3 of them already gone. Did you know that if you win on a 3 so Kanchan and all last to come in first, that you will be given a like really really good cap eraser for your favorite pencil?
I admire the fact that you are so knowledgeable about the Sanzo. I am unfortunately not as familiar with all the benefits of waiting on Sanzo.
Kind of moving towards Chitoy on the right for Luke.
Oh, here's an
Ooh, there's
Onkotron.
an Anko for Andrew.
Yeah, I think we'll take the Ishanten. Can Andrew find Tempai before Andres wins? There's another 3
There's
so
the last 3 so.
that kind of fits.
Yeah, you can toss the 1 so and take that 3-3-4-4 shape. Tosses the 8 so for now.
Yeah, because if you draw the 2 so, then you're declaring Ricci with the 3 so, which would deal in. Oh, okay. Do you discard the 1 so for Tempai?
Yes.
Doesn't even want this Tempai.
Oh man.
So
And there's a 6 so draw. Andrew kind of heading towards Rion Peiko here.
surely not. I mean, Andrew's built some wild hands in this
You go
series.
6 so draw,
Boom.
discard 8 mon. Did you draw 3 mon or 5 mon? Or I guess 3 mon are dead, aren't they? Yeah, all the 3 mon are gone. There's oh, that's not Tempai either. Wow, discarding the
Reach.
entire 7-8-9 shape. And now we have the Ricci from Andrew waiting 6 so.
チ
That's a hell weight. The 6 so hell weight for Andrew for Ricci Peiko Dora 2 as dealer.
We're guaranteed to go another round, no matter what happens here.
Well,
Oh, I guess if Andres wins on the 3 so, but
yeah. Well, Andres can now win on 3 so or 6 so.
Oh,
but a
that's
win on
true.
if it's a deal in on 6 so, that wouldn't work because that obviously means Andrew would win as well.
yeah, no head bump in this league.
Oh, this is so tense. All the 3 so are gone. 1 6 so left in the wall. That is the only tile left for either player. The 3 so incredibly unlikely to come out of Luke's hand, although it could.
I think
If you
Luke,
drew a 2 so or 5 so,
Luke has some incentive for this game to end. Either for it to end or to go another round and go for a Yakuman. But
Right.
given that he's calling for K10, I think he wants the game to continue.
no 6 so yet.
Can drop 8 so
No 6 so yet.
for Tempai. Still-
You could take your K10 points, drops the 2p instead.
and feels a little sad about seeing that 8 so come.
Oh,
there it
the
is!
6 so!
Hot take!
I take Andres stealing it from Andrew.
As he's
Oh
been
my-
doing all game long. all game long, he's been stealing the Ricci sticks with these tiny little hands. Claims first place overall. Plus 36.3 for Andres. Plus 19.2 for Luke. Philip, that negative 14.8 will make the stands quite interesting. And Andrew, fighting Mahjong, spirited aggression, and does finish in fourth place. A little bit of a rough start with the way the first hand went. We'll get that standings refresh in for this final game.
Out of 10 hands, Andres won 6.
That's crazy. And he was fighting against Ricci the whole time. And there we go. Standings updated.
And that was enough to drop Philip below the promotion line.
By
now,
200
it is
points.
True, Claire or Rachel could still fall. Alec cannot.
It looks like Peter has games to play as well.
Where's Peter? Oh yeah, and Peter's the one closest. I didn't even notice that Peter was still at 20 in the middle of all those 24s.
Yeah, we've got the little hollow triangles here. Peter and Haru.
Oh yeah, oh boy. Those last Hanchan in B1 are going to determine so many people's fates here.
Yes. Everyone on that cut line will be watching those intensely, I'm sure. Hopefully we'll be able to broadcast those.
Yeah, I looked on the sheet and I did not see I guess I don't know what group the Claire Rachel group is. But it's not in the broadcast sheet. It's probably what I presume.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing tomorrow actually on Friday at
really
late too. Because I think a lot of those players are on the actually, yeah, that is late for the East Coast. It's a 10 p.m. start on the East Coast.
Right, I would expect that to.
There's some West Coast players. Sorry, West Coast players.
Rachel's West Coast, Claire's East Coast, and then the other people in that group would be Matthew and you said Travis.
Yeah, and just to give you the other table, the one with Peter and Ada, that and Josh and Alec, that's being played the same day.
Oh God, Ada, Josh, Peter, Alec. So Alec is like, I don't have anything to do with this, and the other three are going to be in a massive fight.
Peter, Josh, yeah, Josh and Ada are right next to each other. Peter, of course, needs to finish positive as well. Friday is going to be an insane day. I believe we're broadcasting that day as well.
Okay.
Jeremy on the broadcast, and I don't know who's going to be on the call, but hopefully we'll have folks be able to provide commentary for these matches. It's going to be crazy. We've got Steve, Kenyon, Beach, and Luce from A1. That is the 8 to determine who wins the A1 division. That will be played on Friday. My demotion match will be played Friday at the same time. The Peter, Ada, Josh B1 table and Alec will be played at the same time, and then an hour later will be Matthew, Claire, Rachel, Travis from B1. So much is going to be determined tomorrow. You won't want to miss it for sure.
Yeah, that is one heck of a lineup, and that's what makes Session 6 just so generally outrageous, is that these sorts of things happen, and I really love that it's happening in multiple divisions. Like, we've seen so many tight fights just everywhere.
All season long, I've been saying this was some great Mahjong, and we're getting closer to the end of the season. I can't wait to see what happens at the end. And here we are at the end, and I'm just enjoying every single second of it. It's so tense, it's so dramatic. The play is so wild and aggressive, and also somehow defensive at the same time, depending on your placement and your incentives. And it's just so cool to see how everything unfolds at the end of the season. So, I cannot wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, that is going to be just an absolute blast.
And well, that is the last game from this B1 table. So I think that will also be the last game for this broadcast. But if you were intrigued by what you saw today and you're interested in being a part of this registration for the fall season has closed. However, that means the registration for the winter season is open and will be open for the next couple of months. So feel free to visit our website at AmericanRichi.org. You can also visit our Twitter page at American Richi to get updates on things like broadcasts and other information. And if you thought this broadcast was interesting, you'd like to see some of our older ones, you can certainly find those at our YouTube channel, tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. All right, Ennui. Final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, if you skip out on the games tomorrow for anything less than like playing Yahtzee with your mother, then you are out of your mind.
Well said. Well said. We definitely hope to see you there on Friday. It'll be an evening broadcast. So looking forward to seeing you all there. Thanks for watching this Thursday night broadcast, and catch you in the next one.